evening. Good evening. It's an honor to be here. In the next 3 minutes, we get started. So welcome to every single one of you who's managed to join us tonight. I want to give special welcome to all of you. Helen Mandishona, I see you there. Kevin Gurure. I'm going to mention a few people by name. Don't worry if I don't manage to mention every single one of you, but it's an honor. Colin, Debbie Roos, you could rename yourself. You know, I don't want to call you Samsung S40 or etc. So please rename yourselves in the meantime so that we are able to refer you accordingly. In the next few minutes, the machine gets rolling. Thank you, Jonah Chikuse, for coming through. We totally appreciate you. Godfrey Madeira, we appreciate. We say, boa tarde. Isaac Makanani, good evening to you. Lawrence Tafirei, this is amazing. Antonio Sandy, I think he's your boa tarde as well. Fantastic. We thank you for being here. Obrigado. Debbie Roos, thank you so much. Richard Huchena, fantastic. Good to see all of you here. I may not be able to cover all of you by name, but what an honor. NT Muchema, Farai Dogo, Andrew Mucheriwa, thank you so much for tuning in. Agrippa Masama, I know that man from somewhere. Fantastic, good to see you here. What an honor. Felicidad, mates, Lawrence Tafirei, Richard, I think some of you have mentioned again, Miguel Navarro, boa tarde as well. I'm quite honored to see every single one of you. We will be starting in exactly 2 minutes, so let me keep giving some special recognition to some of the people who are tuning in right now as we get the machine rolling. Let me go to Webster Maposa. Wow. It will be an honor actually right now as you get started to mention where you are tuned in from. Go into the chat section. As you can see, it's already blazing hot. Go into the chat section right now. Can you mention the city you are tuned in from or the country you are tuned in from? And greet us in your language. That would be awesome. Can we do that right now as we prepare to get the machine rolling? This is a minute to go. Let's use the chat section. Cape Town, Blessing Mucheriwa. We're seeing KZN, KwaZulu-Natal. Thanks to you so much, Louise. All the way from Maputo, our host is right here. Boa noite. Oh, thank you so much. Harare is here. Tinashe, well represented. Makadi Niko Harare. Rinja Niko Blawayo. We can see you here tuned in. This is an international conference or international book launch. I'm about to turn it into a conference. We have people all the way from Doha, the furthest. My goodness, you deserve recognition. Thank you so much for being here. Gweru is here. Rushinka, greet us in your language. Rushinka. Maputo is here. Boatade. Oh, they say Bonide, okay? And then they say audio is perfect. Grimston in South Africa. Thank you, Delvin, for tuning in. I am actually sitting in hot Johannesburg. They say here, hot like Hito. So we are in the hot Johannesburg. Lately, it's been blazing hot. Doha, as I mentioned that, Mozambique, Boa noite. Oh, amazing stuff. How come I've been saying Boa tarde? Oh, it's about good evening. Boa noite is how maybe greetings. Thank you very much for that. We're learning languages today. Let me get the machine rolling because the time right now is exactly 6:30. Indeed, I see you. London is here. +44. That's Muchema is right here. Farai Dogo is in Kenya. Oh my goodness. How are things happening in Kenya, Nairobi? How do we greet in Kenya, Nairobi again? I know there's quite a number of words that you use there. Is it Asante, Sana, or something like that? Gives reminders to many people here. Lawrence Tafirei is in Nelspruit, right here in South Africa. Linjani, we say Donkey. Habari, that's Simba right there. Karibu, thank you very much. We are learning languages. Let me get the machine rolling because it's exactly 6:30. We have an understanding of who we have here. We have an understanding of the audience that we carry tonight. Tonight is a special night. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Feel special today because tonight is your night, the night that you've been waiting for, a night that we're being hosted by a prolific speaker who I will introduce a little later on in the program. We are here because we are launching a book. By the way, my name is Robinson Shumba. Those who want to know how to pronounce my name, Robinson Shumba. Shumba means lion, don't be scared. This is a tamed lion. It's one of those that you can play with, so don't be scared. I'm here as your MC for the evening. I'm just preparing the way for a number of speakers that will come along. I'm here to make sure the program runs as smoothly as possible. Ozias has prepared a buffet for us. You know, when a buffet is put before you, you have one choice, or you have several choices. You can look at the buffet and not eat. You go away hungry. Or you can choose to partake of the buffet. You can choose to eat. You choose to pick the starters, the main dish, the dessert, you know, and make sure that you are nourished by the time the meeting is over. So how do you get nourished tonight? By participation. You get nourished because there's a chat section that's available for us. Right now, I see it's blazing hot still. I'll go to the messages a little later on. Keep the chat section going. That's one of the ground rules for this evening. You never know what I can do for you if you keep the chat section burning. The MC has got something in store. It might not be chocolate, but it might be something for your mind, something to sweeten your mind. So keep the chat section going. If you have any questions that you might have, please keep them going there. Keep your microphones on mute as much as possible. We will try to make sure there's no disruption throughout the program, but hey, an opportunity might come depending on time where we bring some of you to the camera and you come and talk to us. So that opportunity will be there. Don't feel that we would have denied you opportunity. But like I said, every single one of you is important. I may not have mentioned you by name earlier on. I'll be recognizing people even as we go, but hey, feel a part of what we are doing tonight. The agenda is pretty clear. We are here to launch a book. Whenever somebody releases a book, my excitement goes to rooftop, to the mountain tops, because hey, a book that's released, it's a book that's shaping generations. A book that's released is a book that inspires. So tonight is about inspiration. Tonight is about growth. You can never go past your level of exposure, and you hear me talk about that over and over again. Expose your mind to different things, and that's what you're getting tonight. Tonight is about growth. Growth in your personality, but also growth in terms of your leadership. The book that we are launching is written by a leadership expert, so you can tell that your growth in that area, you'll be stretched. A mind that is stretched, ladies and gentlemen, can never come back to its normal size. It continues to grow. Every single one of you remain open-minded about what you're going to have tonight. That said, I think you all have felt welcome. I want also to know one thing. Who brought you here? What an awesome way to get the chat section blazing again. I want to know, how did you know about this program? Did you just happen to bump into it on social media? How did you get to know about this book launch? Who invited you? Is it word of mouth? Is it a social media platform? If it's social media, please be kind to tell us which platform, because we want to know for future purposes which channels are good for us. Antonio got to know about this via LinkedIn. Excellent. Is it Antonio only? Let's get going. The author himself, Ozias, Louise, is telling us, I'm connected to the source of inspiration. Fantastic, Louise. Ozias himself. Ozias, you've been doing a good job. Nigel, the Slick Pastor, that YouTube advert. Fantastic. I saw it. Talking about the model of leadership from Pharaoh. I saw it on YouTube. I was invited by Ozias, the author, the comedians. Please keep the answers going. I need hundreds of answers here. There's more than, I don't know how many we are now. There's more than 68 of us. So keep that going. I need to see. Invite from Ozias. Thank you, Ozias, for inviting us to this meal. Personal invite from the author. What an honor. Keep them going. There was a WhatsApp message that I received. The man himself, he did a phenomenal job to invite us to a feast. There was actually a mailing list. I can't remember which one. So that is Beatrice right there, Beatrice Manuel. There's a mailing list somewhere that was used to get us together. I will not dwell on this. I think Simba, my co-host, is taking note of all that. Keep that going. I want to know where you got to know about the program from. That poll will keep going. I'll keep reminding you if we don't get enough answers that are representative of the number of people that we have tonight. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get the machine moving right on a WhatsApp message from Ozias. Ozias, I want to believe you did a fantastic, phenomenal job. I want you at this point in time to hear about the author himself, the man who has invited us to this platform. He's a man that I've known for many years, but suffice to say, a man that has impacted generations, impacted my life in many ways. And I'm sure some of you have interacted with him, and you can attest to the fact that he's a man of impact, a man who has got a trans-generational reach. Ozias Mucheriwa is actually the founder of Motive Center. He's a certified coach. We need coaches in our world. He's a speaker and a trainer. He has been trained in the US by world-renowned leadership guru, John Maxwell. Some of you follow Dr. John C. Maxwell, and he's got a team of experts around. He traveled all the way to the States to be trained by that man. He's himself extensively well-traveled, doing workshops, seminars across the region. He's an international speaker. This man that we are around teaches on team building, employee motivation, sales. I know him to be one of the sales gurus. You know, after Brian Tracy, I think Ozias is in the same league. I think they talk the same language. Ozias is trained and qualified as an insurance practitioner. So he comes from that background, studied risk management and with the University of South Africa. He also studied business leadership with the Zimbabwe Institute of Management, gained lots of experience in the corporate world. He is a man who is well known in that space. He's a certified behavioral analyst. Some of you know about DISC profiling when you talk about personality tests, etc. This man that has gathered us tonight, for 16 years, he worked in the insurance industry in the Republic of Zimbabwe, as well as in Mozambique. At various levels, he started off in middle management, or going all the way to the top into executive leadership, into directorship. Now he's even running his own institute. Motive Center itself, let me talk about the institute, because you've got to know the organization that he has set up. Some of you will interface and have already interfaced with it. You need to know about this company. The aim of this company is to motivate. That's why it's called Motive Center. It's to motivate, it's to equip, and to unleash people to realize their dreams by providing training. That's number one. Number two, coaching. And the third element is the speaking services. Understand those. Through this center, he has impacted several organizations, and some of them are represented here. I may not be able to mention them by name, but cutting across various sectors of the economy in the region, right from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Tanzania, you name it, SADC region, let me call it Sub-Saharan Africa, and he has gone global. Ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on about Ozias, what I know about Ozias and all the accolades that he's got, but suffice to say, a husband to a loving wife, a phenomenal family they've got, but people who are making a difference. I'm muting people right now. Tafadzwa, thank you. So he's a phenomenal man who is a principled gentleman, loves to equip people. He loves to empower people. We have a general of our generation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Ozias. Take it away, author and host of the program tonight.
Thank you so much, Robinson. Thank you for setting the house alight. I would be excited if your data bundles allow you to just put in your face, turn on the video so that I can just be able to see your face. That will get me excited. That is if your data bundles allow. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm seeing some handsome faces, some that I lost so many years ago. Great. Living on a granite solid foundation of faith, smiling pleasantly, working professionally, asking politely, giving generously, smiling heartily, leading like Pharaoh. Do you think you can be such a one? I know you can. Can you see yourself shaking off the flare of failure and putting on the touch of success? Oh, yes, we can. Let us join hands and together generate this great creative and spiritual force that can unravel every situation, overcome every difficulty, surmount every obstacle, and solve every condition, transforming you into a veritable dynamo of power and endurance. Good evening, leaders. Leaders who lead like Pharaoh. Can you unmute yourself so that I can just hear your voice? Good evening, leaders who lead like Pharaoh.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Master Michael.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Boa noite, muito obrigado mesmo. Thank you so much for coming today. We've got various audiences, as we heard Rapson said, people from different countries. So now you can mute. So allow me, if I can just delve a bit into Portuguese, because as you know, I've been stationed here in Mozambique for quite a number of years now, and I've got a lot of friends, clients from Mozambique, so I can't leave them behind. So allow me to mix English and Portuguese, all right? So, boa noite a todos. Aqueles que falam português, vocês podem fazer unmute e responder logo, só para eu sentir que estou juntos com meus irmãos.
Boa noite. Boa noite, Ozias.
Boa noite, senhor Ozias.
Boa noite.
Muito obrigado. Estou vendo, estamos cheios de pessoas que falam português. So, I'm going to mix Portuguese and English, but I want to welcome each and every one of you from wherever you are joining us. I can see different countries. I want to welcome all of you. Thank you so much. Eu estou muito feliz agora por causa da vossa presença. Estou muito feliz. Agora eu tenho que explicar pouco porque eu escrevi esse livro. I just have to explain a little bit why I wrote this book, which is your book anyway, because this book was written with you in mind as the leaders. So when I look into the world today, many times I would feel like there are some things that are missing, there are some things that are lacking, because you look at countries, they are full of resources, but they are poor. You look at people, they've got all the resources and they've access to information, but they remain poor. So with that, you tend to keep on thinking and thinking and thinking until you get some answers which will propel you to write a book. Então, por que eu escrevi esse livro? Estava a ver no nosso mundo, muitas das vezes temos países que estão cheios das riquezas, têm recursos, mas aquele país continua a ser pobre. Tem as pessoas também com acesso para muita informação, muitas oportunidades, mas eles não aproveitam aquelas oportunidades, continua a ser pobre. Então, por causa dessas coisas, continua a pensar, mas por que isto? Por que isto? Por que isto? Quando você apanha as respostas, começa a escrever aquelas respostas, pouco, até já ter livro. So as I continued this search, I began to look around me and started to write some points until I realized that this is a book. Where I started from was Pharaoh, because looking at poverty that is around, I was looking at Pharaoh and saying, but Pharaoh got to a point in his country where he had famine, but he didn't suffer from the famine. What happened? Então eu comecei a analisar a liderança de Faraó. Eu perguntei, mas Faraó passou nessa fase de fome, mas por que ele não sofreu? Então, por causa disso, eu comecei a ver a maneira como ele estava a liderar as pessoas, como estava a gerir o país dele. Depois, no fim do dia, ficou 7 anos de fome, mas eles não sofreram nada. So I began to look at Pharaoh and said, but this guy went through 7 years of famine, but these guys didn't suffer. What is it that caused that? So as Rapson said, I was privileged enough to be coached and mentored by Dr. John Maxwell. And there are some words that he said which have always resonated with me. Dr. John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership. So that became my answer. Say, so when you see poverty, everything rises and falls on leadership. Starting from personal leadership, family leadership, company leadership, country leadership, it's all resident on leadership. Então, meu mentor, Dr. John Maxwell, ele diz, todas as coisas crescem e descem na liderança. Todas as coisas dependem da liderança. Então, quando você vê uma família sofrer, é por causa da liderança. No nível pessoal, no nível da empresa, no nível do país, todos os níveis, uma coisa muito importante é liderança. É por isso que eu comecei a analisar a vida de Faraó, até saiu com 34 lições de vida de Faraó, da maneira como ele estava fazendo a liderança dele. So I started analyzing the life of Pharaoh, and I came out with 34 lessons that I grabbed from his life. So without further ado, feel welcome. I'm handing over back to my good friend, Rapson. Please go ahead and lead us through the book launch. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I don't want you to unmute yourselves, but clap hands, use the emojis in Zoom to clap hands for our esteemed speaker and host for the event. Let's clap hands this way. Okay, you can see there we go. Some of you know how to do this. So thank you very much, Ozias, for giving us a background to why did you even write this book? Why did you go ahead and step out of the comfort zone? It's not easy to come up with a book. Many people think book writing is for professors. Many people believe that book writing is only for people of a certain age. But here is a man who stepped out and said, I will take the risk. I want to do it. So put comments in the chat section. Put comments in the chat section as well. You may not be able to come to the microphone as often as you may want to, but use the chat section. We are observing what is going on there. Like I said, whenever you have questions, put them in there. We are going to be asking. We are going to have a session later on where we talk to the author. We are going to have a session later on where we hear more about what Ozias is all about and where to next. Thank you very much. I think you can read Parabrains, Ozias. Thank you so much for all the words of encouragement that you're giving on there. Very important. There are individuals that came along the journey to make this journey a success. There are people who have had the privilege to look at the manuscript, at its infancy, to be able to give comments and suggestions and ideas and review and critique the material. Like I said, many people fear writing a book because, what will people think? Abantu bazotini, they say in Zulu. What will people say about my material? So many people fear writing a book because they put themselves up for scrutiny, but not with Ozias. I think for many years, I kept saying to him, when is the book coming out? He says, I'm cooking it. This has been a meal that has been cooked over time. Just understand, he was making sure that there was peer reviews. He's talking to his mentors, he's talking to other experts in the field, just to make sure that the wisdom that is gathered is going to add value. So eat this meal and eat it with responsibility, knowing fully well that this man is out to build you. There are people who have read the manuscript. They haven't read the actual book because somebody here is going to buy the first book. At that point, we'll talk about it. But there are people we'll call sneakers and readers. They've had a privilege to read the manuscript and comment on it. We would like to give them a bit of opportunity for them to go through, what their comments are. And lined up is Richard Uchena. I think I saw him earlier on. I greeted him. He has a degree in development studies and is currently studying for an Master of Business Leadership. Worked for several NGOs in Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Malawi, including Practical Action, SNV, and many others. We're talking about somebody with over 17 years of experience raising leaders across the continent of Africa, planting churches as well. Thank you so much, Richard, for that. He's passionate about developing leaders and of integrity, able to influence change and leave footprints in their generation. Richard, I see that you're a leadership expert and I see why you connected with Ozias, and I know you're going to tell us some of the things that you've read in the book just inspires, whet our appetite, because sooner or later, we're going to be buying this particular book. Richard, it's over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rapson. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Very loud and clear, sir.
Thank you. So I'm glad to be amongst great people. I first met Ozias in high school and we soon became best friends. We did English literature class together and we were the best students in the school in this subject. I remember in those days we would go around school exhibiting our mastery command of the English language by using big vocabulary and big words, However, I always knew Ozias was destined for greatness and that would become a person of influence and significance. So I wasn't too surprised to hear that he had written a book because it seemed the seeds of greatness have always been planted and ingrained in him. But when I heard that Ozias had written a book on leadership derived from the life of Pharaoh, I was immediately captivated and intrigued at the same time. I never seriously thought that leaders could glean leadership principles from Pharaoh, from this man. However, when I went through portions of the book, I had a mind shift. This is a book with ingredients that will mold a leader into a leader who's relevant, generational, and impactful. I remember one man who once said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more and become more, you are a leader. And such was Pharaoh. Indeed, Pharaoh was a leader who we can all learn from. He was a dreamer, a strategist, and a successful implementer. From the book, I also learned that he was able to delegate power on time, which is a rare ability. It is a rare ability amongst leaders. I've been a leader and a pastor, a development worker for many years, and worked in the development sector and leadership. And leadership is something that is near and dear to my heart. I've read many books on leadership, and the Pharaoh Model of Leadership is a book I would recommend to anyone serious about leadership anytime, because it is a book that is full of nuggets that would really mold a leader who will make an impact in this time. So I encourage us to get a copy of this book. I encourage us to read this book because it is a book that will help us. Thank you, Ozias, for sitting down and sharing nuggets of wisdom, nuggets on wisdom on leadership through this book. God bless you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Rapson.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard Huchena. You can see I'm dressed like Pharaoh. Having been to the Middle East and a number of places, I thought I would give that depiction. If you go to Dubai and Egypt, they dress like this. So I am actually the Pharaoh of the evening. Thank you so much, Richard, for opening and giving us an oversight and insight into what Pharaoh was all about and the things that you've gleaned from the man himself. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lady amongst us, Helen Mandishona, a chartered accountant by profession. She's a network marketer, a mother of 3 boys, lovely boys, I must say, and she loves traveling. So if you want to give her a gift, hey, give her a ticket to go to Dubai, Honolulu, or the Maldives. I know Helen can't wait to talk about the book. Take it over and tell us about your understanding of the Pharaoh Model of Leadership. Over to you, Helen.
Thank you so much, Rapson, for this opportunity. Ozias told me when he wrote the book, and it was on Amazon. I quickly bought the book on Amazon. So I've got the actual copy. Maybe I'm the first person. And I actually shed some tears because I know Ozias from 2015. And I said to him, we have created an inheritance for your children and children's children. Imagine when you are gone and they will say our great-grandfather wrote this book. So I'm a chartered accountant, yes, but this book spoke to me mostly as a network marketer. I've been in corporate, but in corporate, in the short term, you can be paid even for less results. One thing I liked about this book is Pharaoh's refusal to settle for less in lesson 19. We know the story. He refused the interpretations of all the magicians because he just felt that it was not the correct interpretations until they took someone from the prison to interpret. And this is why they had enough to eat for 7 years because of that interpretation. As a leader, Pharaoh helped the country to prepare for the years of drought, not only for his country, but for other countries. So back to network marketing, network marketers, they are paid on results. And you find that it's an industry that has created more millionaires than any other industry. And you find that a lot of the people that get results, they refused to settle for less. even if they are not educated, they just work like they are broke. So this is one lesson that really resonated with me, to say if you refuse to settle for less, you will get results. In network marketing, we say, don't celebrate no's until you get a yes. One yes, even if you go for 300 no's, one yes can change your life. So the same applies to Pharaoh. One yes changed the economy. And from the book, just in conclusion from the book, he talks of, Ozias talks of Sir Edmund Hillary, who tried to, to climb the Mount Everest. And when he was, at first when he failed, and they were having a meeting or celebration in London, he said, Mount Everest, you have defeated us, but I'll return and I'll defeat you, because you cannot get any bigger and I can. So as leaders, we should not be afraid of our problems. We should not settle for less. And Ozias is an example. From the time I met him from 2015, I know he's an amazing husband. He's a father of 4. He speaks Portuguese. From Zimbabwe, he couldn't speak Portuguese. Now he trains in Portuguese, speaks English very well, has written a book. I mean, all of us, we are here because of him. So he is an example of not settling for less. Thank you so much.
I can see some clapping hands. Fantastic, fantastic. I keep changing my gear. It's like I've got somebody changing my, I'm not settling for less when it comes to dressing for the occasion. Thank you so much, Helen, for giving us what you have learned. Don't settle for less. They say you rather aim high and miss than aim low and hit. And that's what Ozias is teaching us in this particular book. I know my co-host will help me mute mics in the interest of time. Thank you so much, Helen, for that. And being a network marketer, you have taught us also how we can make all that money. Moving right along, Dr. Jeffrey Madeira is an amazing man. Currently invited reviewer of 3 international and high impact sector medical journals. He received his doctorate in medicine from Mozambique Catholic University. Dr. Madeira has 12 years of experience in clinical, epidemiological, and public health field. Doc, if I chew my tongue, please repay it for free. Epidemiological, these are big words. This is somebody who's been there, doesn't settle for less in as far as developing his career is concerned. He has interest in molecular biology and cardiovascular disease. Intlizio, your heart issues. In children with high impact on women. What an amazing story, what an amazing biography. Dr. Madeira, it's over to you. Talk to us about your thing, your nuggets that you've gleaned from the book. It's over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Boa noite a todos. It's always an amazing experience to be with Ozias. The first time I met him, it was in one of our retreats. He was giving us a retreat for team building. And from the beginning, this guy energized everyone. So it's always an honor. For me, this book about leadership that is illustrated by an African story that unfortunately, due to the lack of availability of African literature in our library, brings out the positive qualities of our ancestors and is a real beautiful example and a good narrative that can inspire many of us to believe in our African role models. This same model of excellence that put the Pharaoh and his reign on the world map is brought by our friend Ozias in a very eloquent way and give giving a test of not stopping reading. It is with great pleasure that I endorse the publication of this literary work that can help train new young leaders in Africa and in the world, or strengthen and motivate the leaders in every place around the world. With this said, I thank you very much, Ozias, for giving us this magnificent work. I will give that message also in Portuguese. Este livro sobre liderança, que é ilustrado por uma história africana, que infelizmente, devido à falta de disponibilidade de literatura africana, realça as qualidades positivas dos nossos antepassados. É um belo exemplo e uma boa narrativa que pode inspirar muitos de nós a acreditarmos nos nossos modelos africanos. Este mesmo modelo de excelência que coloca o faraó e seu reinado no mapa do mundo é trazido pelo nosso amigo Ozias de uma forma muito eloquente e dando gosto de ler sem parar. Por isso, é com grande prazer que endorso a publicação desta obra literária, que pode ajudar a formar novos líderes, novos jovens líderes, ou a fortalecer e motivar os líderes mais experientes em todo o mundo. Ozias, muito obrigado por nos brindar com esta magnífica obra.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that illustrious demonstration of knowledge of leadership. They say, you know, the biggest tragedy in Africa right now is not witchcraft, it's not AIDS, not COVID, it's a lack of leadership. Everything rises and falls on leaders, and we must have more literature that we refer to. And thank you for giving us a manuscript, Ozias, that we can go back to and grow our continent and make sure there are solutions that come out of our continent, and good stories for that matter. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, move right along to the next reader, vibrant individual. I've only met her online, but hey, we are family. I say to her, you know, you having come from Zimbabwe, and I ask you, where are you going? Your answer is most likely going to be, I'm going everywhere I can go, wherever my passport can take me. Lived in Zimbabwe, worked in Mozambique, now lives in South Africa. We're talking about a global person here, a globe trotter, but also a globe shaker in terms of reach. She has a bachelor's degree in marketing and psychology. So you look at her, you have a discussion with her, she can read what you're thinking about. Certified coach. Louise has extensive experience in the field of marketing, operations management, general management, and organizational development, something that we need in our companies, primarily in the area of tourism. You see why she travels a lot? But she's also into construction of buildings and infrastructure, but also the construction of individuals like you and I, building our careers. She's passionate about that. She's a certified coach with the International Coaching Federation. I think that's what ICF stands for. Louise, we can't wait to hear from our coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rabson, for that introduction, and good evening, everybody. I feel very honored to be here and to have been asked by Ozias to talk about his book. So I first met Ozias back in 2009. Oz, it was quite some time ago, back in the days when we were both working as general managers in Maputo. We are also both Zimbabweans and part of the large Zimbabwean diaspora that works in Mozambique. These shared commonalities laid a foundation for a friendship that endures today despite the geographical miles that are now between us. And I would like to add here that it was in these early days when I took Ozias on a site inspection of some of our very remote building sites that he shared his dream with me of becoming a motivational speaker. And the rest, as they say, is history. So I have watched Ozias fulfill his dream and beyond. And now we're meeting to celebrate the launch of his book. So back in 2019, Ozias contacted me and he said he's written a book called The Leadership Model of Pharaoh. And I was very intrigued. I have a passion for great leadership and have read many books about great leaders and what makes a good leader, and have some quite strong ideas about what makes a bad leader, of which I believe we have far too many. And although I had never thought about Pharaoh when considering leadership, I am sure I would have put him in the bad leadership category. Anyway, Ozias asked me if I would write an endorsement for his book, so I set about reading it. It was very enlightening and thought-provoking, and showed me once again how inaccurate and limiting our ingrained beliefs and conditioning can be. So filled with enthusiasm and admiration, I wrote my endorsement for my good friend's book, which when I was looking at the book the other day, I saw that the editor had edited my original version, obviously to the benefit of the book, but I'm going to share my original endorsement with you all tonight. I think the world needs more leaders like Pharaoh. I feel certain we could have averted many of the enormous challenges we face today with more leaders of Pharaoh's ability. He knew how to recruit the right people for the right job, and then he trusted, empowered, and delegated to them. He was an agile thinker, he was a good listener, he was open-minded, and he understood his limitations. He cared about his people and a future that would continue long after he was gone. He was not afraid to ask questions. He was secure and unafraid to search for the answers to the questions he could not answer. He was not afraid to show his vulnerabilities. There is more, but you should read the book to learn more about Pharaoh and what made him a successful leader. Well done, Ozias. You are an inspiration, and keep walking in Pharaoh's footsteps. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Louise. Thank you for highlighting that. As you can see, I keep dressing differently every single minute. This time, this is from Ghana. So Ghana connecting with Egypt, connecting with the world. You're talking there about issue of asking questions. If you have any questions for Ozias, ladies and gentlemen, please keep them coming. Sometimes the gap between where you are and where you could be could just be that one question. Somebody here, if you have an itching question, I've got my co-hosts who are going to keep the comment section blazing. I'll quickly go through one. I see a long one there. I don't want to miss it. Ozias, this is quite fascinating. That's Isaac Makanani. I'm not so sure where he's calling or writing from. I remember meeting you for the first time in Mozambique in 2015 when an NGO I was working in, Netherlands Development Organization, was looking for a leadership thinker for a group of social business entrepreneurs for a social leadership enhancement program in Maputo. And gosh, it was marvelous. High energy presentation. Man, what were you drinking, Ozias? High energy presentation, which was received highly by participants from Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe. You see why I say Ozias has a global reach. So when you told me you had written a book, I was not surprised about your inclination for writing, but choosing Pharaoh as a model for leadership, I almost said to you, what are you high on? You see, I'm asking the same question. It's like I've read it. But having read through the snippets of the book and how you have extracted the nuggets of leadership principles, I give you the kudos, my brother. I think that's a powerful endorsement coming all the way from Makanani, Isaac Makanani. I think he's probably in Mozambique. Thank you for that. Keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. We will make sure that we give them to Ozias, who is also tracking all the comments as they come through. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have a sneaker and reader in the name of Samuel Maputo, and I'll briefly talk to you about who Samuel is. These are people that Ozias has come through and come across in his career and his work, and even as they embarked on this journey to write a book. This is a seasoned human capital business leader. Over 25 years of human capital management experience. We're talking about people who are seasoned here. He's a consultant. He's got teaching experience across different sectors of the economy. His work revolves around helping leaders and organizations to unleash their potential and achieve peak productivity. You can see how he connects very well. Him and Ozias, same WhatsApp group right there. He has a solid experience in organizational development, change management, organizational effectiveness, culture transformation, workforce engagement. The list is quite long. But what's important to note is that he's also an author. human resources author, an executive in his own right, and a business coach and mentor. Those who will seek mentorship, hey, and I know many mentors say, oh, you can't just come to my inbox and say, mentor me, let's develop a relationship. He's a mentor, regularly involved in Mozambique People Management Forum, Mozambique HR Professionals Association, and with supporting young entrepreneurs, many of you who are trying to grow to become entrepreneurs. He is currently the head of HR at Access Bank Mozambique, a Master of Science in Management Science, also a Master of Arts in Governance, as well as Sustainable Development, and an honors in Psychology. Ladies and gentlemen, I could go on about Samuel Maputo, but we're talking about somebody who's seasoned, somebody who connects very well with the subject tonight. Go on, sir, and tell us what you have gleaned from the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership. Over to you, Samuel.
Thank you very much, Robinson. What a bold introduction. Then you don't make my friend Ozias not give me the opportunity to read the actual book. I've met Ozias a long time ago when I was working for Coca-Cola back in 2010. And from the first 3 minutes of our interactions, we connected. We found common ground in terms of what we love as professionals, but also in terms of human values. When Ozias told me that he wrote a book on Pharaoh's leadership model, I couldn't believe. I asked myself, how can Ozias find something interesting, something of value on someone that has been demonized all over the history of humanity in our religions. But I think this is exactly the first lesson and the merit of the book that Ozias has written. Your ability as a leader to address your limiting beliefs. Okay, it's the blinkers that we put in ourselves that hinders us from growing and becoming better leaders. So Ozias challenged prevailing paradigms and tried to look at the positive side of Pharaoh's existence in Egypt and in African history. And the result is this wealth of leadership lessons that we now share, is now sharing with us on this book. One of the things that immediately connected with me when I read the summary of the book is Pharaoh's passion or focus on productivity. And you know what, as leaders, unless you are crazy about productivity, okay, you will never be successful. One thing is for you to dream and dream big. The other thing is for you to be able to help your organization and your country to focus, okay, discipline in the execution and deliver. Just like Winston Churchill used it to say, as a leader, you need to do the absolutely necessary to win. And this is what Pharaoh was doing as a leader for his country. And the other thing that I also saw in the book, which I think is an important lesson for all of us here, as actual or aspiring leaders, business leaders, is how people are the cornerstone of your success and the success of the organization. So Pharaoh clearly demonstrated that unless you love people, unless you know how to deal with people, just close shop because you don't know what you're doing. And I think it just not to take too much time because this book is very, very, very rich. One last thing that I would like to share that I picked from this book is the importance of you as a leader becoming vulnerable. You know, very often African leaders, I don't need to name them, we all have a couple of examples, believe and behave like they know everything. But Pharaoh, although he had lots of power, okay, and he was respected across the African region, he was humble. Okay, when he didn't know the answers, he recognized, he acknowledged it, and he let those that had the answers to lead. He allowed every individual to contribute to their best for the benefit of the entire Egyptian nation without thinking twice. So I think this is a very, very, very important nugget for us as leaders, so that we grow. Unless we're able to humble ourselves like Pharaoh did, and Jesus Christ did, and many other great leaders out there, you will grow in mediocrity. So I think these are some of the lessons that we have from the book. And my final words is for my friend Ozias. Thank you very much, Ozias, for this contribution to humanity. And we look forward to seeing you talking more about these books, to particularly for young professionals, our university students, because they are the future pharaohs of Mozambique, of Zimbabwe, and of Africa. Well done, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samuel. We give you kudos. Thank you so much for coming through. What I'm hearing more and more from our speakers is that far too many times, and it's a nugget I'm deriving from just hearing what people have said. Far too many times we judge people too soon. There's always something you can learn from somebody else, no matter how imperfect you think they are. Many times we create stereotypes around individuals, and we look at their negative, we amplify the negative components around them, not realizing that even in the midst of their imperfection, there is something we can learn from them. They may look like a caterpillar today, but we don't see the butterfly in them. So don't despise where you can derive lessons from. And here we learn from Ozias. He chose to look at the other side and say, what is it that is positive about this particular individual who over time has been seen and labeled as somebody who has been told, leave my people, let my people go. I think that's the verse that most people continue to quote. But Ozias looks at what are some of the things he has done well in, and let's learn from that. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving and we keep it going. The chat section is quiet right now, and oh no, it's not quiet. There is comments that keep coming through. Keep those questions rolling. Ozias is getting ready to answer your questions. There's a comment from Stana that says, is it Tindet? This is great work, and I know and believe more is to come. I and my colleagues still talk about the great experience we had during a retreat. You have planted seeds in many people's lives. The comments keep running. I'll read them a little later on. Without further ado, and in moving with our time, I want to introduce a man that I believe has had an impact in Ozias' life, a man that has walked with him, a man that has been there. Dr. Conal Pio is our keynote speaker tonight, one of the key speakers this evening. He's a man in ministry since 1987, holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Christian education and a PhD in theology, former principal of Institute of Prayer and Revival, and is the founder and director of Mission Focus Christian Academy. An author in his own right. The books are Biblical Perspectives of Judges, as well as Biblical Perspectives of the Book of Ruth. Dr. Pio, thank you for affording us the opportunity to hear from you tonight and to learn more about leadership and really glean on what you have already consumed and digested from Ozias' book. It's over to you, Dr. Pio.
Thanks, Chair. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite a privilege, a great privilege for me and honor to be one of the key witnesses to the launching of the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership. May I say congratulations to the man, Ozias Micheriwa, who is the author of the Pharaoh Model of Leadership that we are gathered to celebrate and launch today. Ladies and gentlemen, heads off and thumbs up to Ozi and his beautiful wife and children who suffered loss of family time in production of the book we celebrate today and are launching. Special thanks to you, Madam Cheriwa, for generously donating your husband to the cause of future generations by way of supporting the writing of this book through your husband. The book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership, which your husband has authored and is a cause for this occasion, will be a blessing to many generations to come. Welcome, Ozias, to the world of African authors. You did not only make us proud, but your book has also given us hope for a brighter future of good leadership. Your book inspires hope for the future. Dream is the departure point of your book, and hope is the ultimate point of the Pharaoh Model of Leadership. I have found your book to be a dispensary of sustainable leadership dreams. Please, Mr. Chair, kindly allow me at this juncture of my presentation to offer a short prayer of thanksgiving to God for this occasion. Shall we pray? I thank you, dear Heavenly Father, for the launch of the book, Pharaoh Model of Leadership by Ozias Micheriwa. We acknowledge the talent with the humble hearts. May your grace take both the current and future generations in the direction of this book to the betterment of our world and society. In Jesus' name, we thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. Yes, the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership, is the book we are launching today, and Ozias Micheriwa is the author of the book. Before I talk about the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership, please, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to first talk about the author of the book. Ozias Micheriwa is the author of the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership. I got to know Ozias Micheriwa as a young schoolboy back in 1994 in a small town called Chitungiza. Chitungiza is about 20 kilometers southeast of Harare in Zimbabwe, Africa. So Ozias is an African author. Once again, welcome Ozias to a pool of African authors. The time I got to know Ozi from a close range was when he was a member of the church I pastored in Chitungiza in 1994. I wonder if he liked me at that time because he still was a schoolboy. Though a young boy, as he was at that time, Ozi was quite conspicuous and noticeable. He loved to interact with the leaders and ask questions like an investigative journalist. I liked and enjoyed to answer his questions because they gave me an opportunity to discuss deeper things from the Bible I would not preach from the church pulpit. I began to notice that Ozi was a man of commitment. He never missed a church service. Even if it was an all night, Ozi would pitch up. So I learned that Ozi was a man of commitment, and I learned that commitment and focus were not an issue at all with Ozi. It was his personal constitution. The first thing that conjures up my mind at the mention of the name Ozias Micheriwa are the words focus and commitment. He is Mr. Focus and Mr. Commitment. That's who Ozi has become to be, and even today. I have since known Ozi over the years to be a timely decision maker. Ozi is a man of facts and evidence. He is a guy who knows his mind very well. Ozi has no chemistry with mediocrity. Maybe that's why he caught up with Pharaoh. He has no chemistry with mediocrity, and that spells out his strong drive as an able motivational speaker on various economic and social platforms that I have seen some business companies and some social organizations rise to levels of significance. Ozias is not a man who likes to operate from a shallow level of thought. He is a person who wants to get to the deeper depths of things, and where circumstances allow him, he would want to exercise up things for himself. Ozias loves to work with first-hand information. The book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership, is a first-hand information by Ozias Micheriwa, in which he demonstrates an unusual paradigm shift in leadership that he presents us with a new version of leadership. I believe that the Pharaoh Model of Leadership has come at the right time. I see this book raising both the Pharaohs and the Josephs of the day. The Pharaoh Model of Leadership is designed to give us a balanced practice of sustainable leadership. Balanced practice in the sense that in the Pharaoh model of leadership, we have both dreamers and technocrats coming together to achieve a common goal of social benefit and economic sustainability. What I've learned from the Pharaoh model of leadership is that development should not be a one-time achievement like gaining a political independence. The Pharaoh model of leadership shows us that development should be a progressive and permanent state of transformation, or we live under a very false opinion of development that may relegate the next generation to the economics of survival of the fittest. We need sustainable dreams like dreams are advocated for in the Pharaoh Model of Leadership book by Ozias. What stands out for me in the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership by Ozias, is the meticulous way he focuses the book from where we are and where we should be. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say that though we are at crossroads leadership, I have hoped that the Pharaoh Model of Leadership Ozias presents in his book can take us to a crossing point in leadership where we can have dreams that outlive our tenure of office and sustain next generations. We need to take it up and own it to the challenges of the book of the Pharaoh Model of Leadership in order to bequeath a sustainable legacy to the next generation, or we commit leadership suicide, if not socioeconomic genocide due to ignorance. Some say that if you think education is expensive, then you can try ignorance and appreciate the difference. But I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, if you think reading books is a wasting of time, then you can try the folktales and see the difference. The Pharaoh Model of Leadership book can help us to escape the tragedy of leadership betrayal to next generations. The book, Pharaoh Model of Leadership by Ozias is the answer to leadership challenges of the day. And it is a must read for leaders who dare to leave behind a sustainable legacy of leadership practice. And those who may think otherwise, I also recommend the book to them because it gives a balanced understanding of leadership. The book, Pharaoh Model of Leadership, is both a critic and a manual for effective leadership. I wish the launch should not have been about the book, but about the Pharaoh Model of Leadership, so that we could have hit the ground running right from the onset. One of the striking points in the Pharaoh Model of Leadership book is the fact that leadership starts with a dream. Yes, a dream in the context of Pharaoh Model of Leadership is seen as being able to see the future from the present and figure out necessary steps and appropriate technologies to advance the cause of our economic viability and stability. The measure of any leadership should be in the stability and sustainability of the society one leads. The Pharaoh Model of Leadership shows us leadership is about the ability to see where we want to be from where we are. Yes, we have dreams of one kind or the other, but the challenge of any dream is that a dream demands interpretation. And this is where the Pharaoh Model of Leadership book seeks to engage us from, so that we can rightly interpret our world. Ozias saw a leadership dream in the dreams of Pharaoh and imported the same to our present world so that we can have better leadership practices. Thank you also for that insight. Leaders need to have dreams beyond their tenure of office, and that became the running theme of thesis of the Pharaoh Model of Leadership book. Pharaoh's dream or dreams captured a range of 14 years ahead of time that demanded a sustainable economic plan. Therefore, economic technocrats were needed to align the dream with economic realities on the ground, and none was found except Joseph, who was the man identified by Pharaoh to take the nation to the next level of development. Pharaoh saw the potential in Joseph and harnessed it for the economic development of Egypt. The Pharaoh Model of Leadership is a book that does not only motivates you to have a vision or dream, but will also offer you the wisdom on how to unpack the dream you have in a more realistic ways that are designed to transform human societies in a much more bigger way, as Pharaoh did. Taking it from the relationship between Pharaoh and Joseph, parallels of learning have been drawn in the Pharaoh Model of Leadership book that you do well to read the book for yourself. The book Pharaoh Model of Leadership by Ozias seeks to deal with some, misplaced and false opinions of leadership that may betray next generations. The book takes you from a spending to an investment leadership style that is designed to leave behind a sustainable legacy of economic development with extraordinary impact on our economies, such as Pharaoh demonstrated through the wise economic advice of Joseph, which saw Egypt and the world of the day survive the worst drought ever in human history. For more on the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership, I recommend that you get a copy for yourself and enjoy the benefits the book offers. Wisdom is not accumulation of knowledge, as it were, but being able to consult and rub shoulders with the knowledgeable. In short, seek wise advice. And the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership, is available to offer quality advice to all leaders across the leadership landscape. I would not have done justice to you, ladies and gentlemen, if I did not kindly recommend that you buy the book, The Pharaoh Model of Leadership by Ozias while stocks last. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Pio. Dr. Pio, we appreciate you. I moved all the way from Ghana to Egypt, back to Zimbabwe, my land of birth, but I'm still connecting with Pharaoh. I'm still connecting with the mantle of Pharaoh. Dr. Pio, Dr. Conwell Pio, a renowned leadership expert and preacher of the word. You can tell he is passionate about books and passionate about empowerment. Questions are coming through. I think so far I've seen 2 questions from one individual. I need more people to ask questions. We are taking note of those. And thank you, Antonio Sandy. I saw your questions. I have a quick comment I want to just breeze through because it's too nice to leave out. Thank you, Ozias. This is from Vigilio Francisco. Is it Mumbai? Thank you, Ozias, for the book. I'll summarize this. It's quite long. You can read in the chat section. Thank you for the book and the time that this book has created for us to meet like this. When I received the invitation for this event, I questioned myself and I said, what great Ozias is found in Pharaoh, someone who who have none of the best things to be shared or followed. Understanding the presentation, I conclude that Ozias is not a common man. He's someone who sees and likely to look positive from the unexpected. From the day I knew Ozias in 2016 till today, I felt that I've met a special man and is someone who never gives up on his followers. Thank you so much for laying that ground, Ozias. And like Dr. Pio says, writing a book is about leaving a legacy. What do you want to be remembered for? What are the indelible signs and marks that are leaving for generations to come? Beyond your time, 100 years after you're gone, like Pharaoh is no longer here, but we're still talking about Pharaoh. What are the indelible marks you're leaving on the sands of time that generations after us will read? When people write books, they want to interface with you beyond the grave. You are able to read his mind beyond the grave. That's why buying a book, like Dr. Pio says, is a must. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I also like what Dr. Pio says. Let's talk about the book. Let's hear something from the book, the Pharaoh Model of Leadership. And there's no better person to talk about the book or read the book to us. Pick a section of the book at random. He's going to pick a section at random because this is like eating mincemeat. Some of you have eaten mincemeat. Wherever you go, you find meat. Huh? If you eat mincemeat, wherever, open any page, you find it. So Ozias is going to dive into the menu and pick a chapter at random and read it out to us. I want to still see questions coming through and comments coming through, because Q&A session is coming. We have not yet launched the book. I know somebody already bought a copy. It's not yet signed. It might not necessarily be the first one, but hey, you did a good thing, by the way. Fantastic thing. Ozias, it's over to you. I think we read your bio earlier on, a leadership expert, trained by the world's best, traveled the world, empowers people across the region. Over to you. Read something to us and let's glean from this powerful book. Thank you, Ozias.
Thank you so much, Robinson. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you, everybody, for the comments that I'm seeing in the comment section and the words of encouragement. Muito obrigado, meus amigos, pelas palavras e apoio que vocês estão me oferecer. Eu agradeço muito mesmo. Vou ter tempo de agradecer bem mesmo. I will have time to really thank you, but for now I've been asked to just read the chapter from the book and read for you. So I'm quickly going to jump to, where should I read you from? Okay, let me read from lesson number 7 of the Pharaoh Model of Leadership. I'm sure you can hear me. Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Great. Thank you so much. By the way, this book has got a Portuguese version. I think it will be out by next week, but the English version was faster to come. But it has the Portuguese version. So if you are not very comfortable in English, don't panic. So let me quickly read chapter 7, which says, Pharaoh's dream was to him, but not for him. The ancient king of Egypt demonstrated a number of leadership attributes that contributed to Egypt standing to this present day. Leadership, however, is never static. Hence, the position needs someone with agility that is able to adapt to change and is open-minded. The attributes are essential to cope with the realities of leadership that we are about to discuss. Pharaoh received dreams whose benefits transcended the walls of his palace to reach the simplest person in Egypt. Besides Egypt, the dream positively impacted many nations, going as far as the land of Canaan. A call to leadership is a call to dream dreams whose influence go beyond the incumbent's organization. In other words, a leader acts as the portal for great ideas and great visions. As a leader, you are the telescope that sees the future. Martin Luther King once said, I may not get there with you, but my eyes have seen. Pharaoh understood that in order for his vision to reproduce, there were 4 further issues that he needed to understand. Number 1, the dream was to him, but not for him to interpret. The dream was to him, but not for him to implement. The dream was to him, but not for him to benefit personally. The interpretation was not to him, but for him to find. Let's explore them. The dream was to him, but not for him to interpret. What are we saying? As a leader, it can be very frustrating to receive a vision that you fail to interpret. This normally happens when you believe that since the vision came through you, it means that you are the one supposed to interpret it. Pharaoh tried interpreting his own dream and failed. At the end of the day, Pharaoh realized that you can receive a dream that is never meant for you to interpret. As a leader, you need to embrace the fact that you are just a part of the puzzle and not the whole puzzle. Pharaoh understood that what he could not do himself, there was bound to be someone else that could. At some point, I even wondered why God would give the dream to Pharaoh and deny him the interpretation. I then discovered that in life, we go through 3 major stages of development. Number 1 is dependence. As a child, you depend on your parents for everything. You can't feed yourself, bath, or do anything apart from crying. When you grow, you get to become independent. Number 2 is independence. Most children look forward to this stage, but as you mature, you realize that people are interdependent. Interdependence. We need each other for both survival and success. Because of this, God had to grant the dream to Pharaoh, but hand over the interpretation to somebody else. So, instead of continuing to agonize over the elusive interpretation, he sought the right people to provide the interpretation of the dream. The late American entrepreneur, author, and motivational speaker Jim Rohn believed that finding is reserved for the seekers. This means that if you do not seek, you will not find. So if you want to find, you do not have to complain or mourn. Rather, you knock and the door will be opened. This brings up another interesting question. For how long should you search? For how long should you keep on knocking? The answer is simple: until you find the answer. Most people search until they are tired. Although the dream was not meant for Pharaoh to interpret, it was his duty to find its interpretation. Great leaders are able to cut through the clutter and sift through the wreckage in their quest to get answers. Many leaders fail to make progress because they do not understand that although they do have the dream, they need people who can explain it clearly to them. And this can involve scoring the whole labor market for talent. Therefore, it's imperative that as a leader, you clearly understand your role, where your mandate starts and where it ends. Because of time, I will not read the whole chapter, but let me end it there and hand over back to Rabson. Rabson, please come and take us through the final stages of the launch.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my crown keeps changing. It keeps moving from one angle to another. Whenever I mute, by the way, I didn't rehearse this. I just decided my headgear is going to change every minute. So I'm running out and coming back with a different headgear. Because sometimes as a leader, you put on this hat, depending on the situation. We call it situational leadership. I believe Pharaoh was like that. In one moment, he's tough on this. In the next moment, there's something to learn from him. So you put on different crowns depending on the situation you find yourself in. So moving right along with our program, we now we want to get to a point where we formally announce the launch of the book. I got my delivery today. I've not read this book. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I will allow you to turn on your microphones, because at the count of 3, we are actually going to turn on your microphones now. We are going to clap, ululet, do whatever it is that you do in your mother tongue to celebrate. I will allow you to switch on your microphones. I'll mute all of you in a moment. So I've taken the stock right now, and I'm officially opening. I'm counting. 1, we are about to launch the book, ladies and gentlemen. 2, we are about to launch the book, ladies and gentlemen. 2.5, we are about to launch it. 2.9999, we are about to launch it. And ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, the Pharaoh Model of Leadership is launched.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
God, you are good. This is
Congratulations.
the book is here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'm going to mute everybody now. Sorry about that.
The Pharaoh Model of Leadership.
É boa coisa mesmo.
Fantastic. I'm sure he's hearing. All right. Thank you very much. We have officially launched the book, but as we officially launched the book, this is the very first copy out of those that have been printed here. I know online is already available. I'm trying to mute everybody. All right. The book has been officially launched, but this very first copy that I took out, the rest I'm keeping them in there, this very first copy that I have taken out, we wanted to give to an individual who bids the most on it. Wow, what a special book. I'm holding it and I'm loving the quality. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. I'm going to, for the next 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we use the chat section instead of using our microphones. We use the chat section to bid for this very first copy. Nuggets are here. You can only go as far as exposure takes you. In here are 34 nuggets that can take your leadership to the next level, like the young people call it, level up. You want to take your leadership and level up? We are bidding right here. Somebody has already thrown a US dollar figure. I don't have a calculator here. I had thought of starting with a figure, ladies and gentlemen, of 1,000 rands. This book took years being marinated. 1,000 rands to the first person who wants to offer. Okay, 25 user. Okay, I keep seeing 25. Do I just use US dollars or rands? $100 US, ladies and gentlemen, the book has already gone up. $100 US is like 1,500 rands. Thank you so much, Wilmo Zembe. By the way, you can, let's use US dollars and rand. 5,000 Medicash. I don't have a calculator with me. Anybody can help me find out what that amount is. Is it above 100 US? Everybody, what is the 5,000 Medicash? 5,000 Medicash, is it above 100 US? I'm not good with stock exchange issues here. Simba, I think you can estimate. What is the 5,000 Medicash?
It's 6,500 Medicash.
Fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, so far we're on 100 US. Do I see 150 US dollars? 150 US dollars is, I must get my calculator closer. 150 US dollars, ladies and gentlemen, for the first book, the very first one. It's going to be autographed by the author himself. It's going to be shipped to you. 150 US dollars is 2,250 rands. Do I have a turka for this particular book? Amazing book, many years to be written, lots of wisdom. There is 150 US dollars, believe it or not, from Ashley. Clap hands for you, Ashley. Give you. Do I have a $200? $200, by the way, is like 3,000 rands. You are getting a book. This is history in the making. You are part of something a lot bigger than yourself. 3,000 rands is what we have so far. Do I see 3,500? Anybody to go above $150? If we put it on 200 by 50, yeah, that's 3,000 rand. Do I see 200 US dollars, which is 3,000 rands? 3,000 rands, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley, I see you there. You're holding your breath. Do you want to go a lot further? Do you want to stretch so that people don't catch you? Wilmore, do you want to follow? Anybody? Vigilo, 5,000 Medicash. We don't mind. Come through. 25,000 Medicash is an equivalent of, Ozias, you are the mathematician here, or Simba, help me here. 25,000 Medicash is what?
25,000 Medicash. That's about,
yes.
That's about 6,565. That's about close to $350. $350,
which has been surpassed right now. Leslie, somebody has already surpassed that number. Thank you, Leslie. Shumba, Leslie says 395. What's over? Shumba ya 395. 395, ladies and gentlemen, is an equivalent of about 6,000 rand. I was not bidding. No, okay, all right, was not bidding. So the person who was bidding, or people are converting for me. If you throw figures there, I think you are bidding. So far, the highest bidder is, do I pronounce it as Bake or Baki? Bake is 25,000 Medicash. Anybody who wants to go above $400, Antonio converted for us $400. Any, Bake says 25,000 is the same figure. I'm seeing the same figure here. Anyone want to go to 30,000? All right, counting, going once, counting. Bake, do you want to stretch a bit further? History in the making. $400 US for the very first copy. 25,000 Metcash, $400 US. Any other offer out there? Going once, going twice, going 2.5. You know me. Going 2.9. Going 2.99999. We are not yet on 3. And ladies and gentlemen, the book has been sold to Bake for 25,000 Medicash, which is US dollars. This is copy number 1. I'll put it aside and make sure that it's out here. The very first one that I took out. I don't want to leave anybody. Our top 3 or top 4, you are more than, so I've got top 3 and top 4. Who is next? Yeah, I've got 2 more copies for number 2 and 3. Who is there? From 400, we go back to, what was the last one? Is that 150? Ashley, was it Ashley? Ashley with $150. You get copy number 2. Ashley with 150, number 2, numero 2. And then we go back slightly. Who was there before that? Wilmo Zembe, 1,500 rands, an equivalent of $100. So in total, we have those top 3 individuals. Do we want to go back one more? Okay, Stan, we don't want to deny you an opportunity. You gave us $25. Stana, Tinder, that you get the 4th copy for $25. This is how you can remit those who are in Mozambique. Get in touch. We are going to put contacts in the chat section in a moment. I think Simba will help us with those comments. I'm putting away book number 1, number 2, 3, and 4. These will be signed, autographed, and sent to your addresses. I see Wilmo, we need you to get into Simba's inbox. Simba, put your surname so that they can see you there. Go into Simba's inbox. Do mention where you are, the addresses where you are. Simba will immediately tell you how you can remit the funds. If you're in Harare, because I see a lot of US dollars there flying from Harare, from Wilmo and others in Harare, you're going to get contacts on who to talk to, and your book will come there fully autographed by the author. So from where I am, these books are going all the way to Mozambique for autographs, purely for autographs, and thereafter they will come direct to Harare, or they will go to you if you are in Mozambique. Thank you so much for participating in Goes Right. Questions for Ozias. I know time is flying, but there've been questions, and Simba, if there's a hand. Masimba wants to beat, or what's Masimba? I see your hand up. I want to give you an opportunity. Maybe you want to give us a $600. Masimba, are you there?
Yes. I need a copy for 25. Yeah.
You need a copy for 25 US. Simba Manyaruke.
Yes.
The Simba and Masimba. Yeah, you are in the same WhatsApp group. Talk $25 right there. Please inbox each other right now. Simba Manyaruke, put your WhatsApp number in the chat section. Let people begin to message you. Also begin to message them back. Let's coordinate how the logistics will go. Where are people sitting right now? All those that have won the book, you can go in the chat section again and say, I've won the first copy. I am sitting in this particular place. Simba Manyaruke is right there to coordinate that logistic. Thank you very much for that. Anybody else who wants to give us more copies? I don't want to lose this opportunity. I also need a copy for $25. That's from Tafuma Kusema in Maputo. Write all that down. My secretariat is doing their job. I am in Maputo. I want a copy for 25. I like that. Godfrey Madeira. Thank you so much. You heard from Godfrey earlier on. Dr. Godfrey Madeira is being modest. In the chat section, it says Godfrey, but it's Dr. Godfrey Madeira. Thank you so much. Copy for 25. I want to buy the copy for 25 from Richard Huchena. Fantastic. I like the sound of that. I think, Ozias, I immediately want to buy the copy for also, I think I'll buy 2 copies. I want to buy 2 copies and I will decide how I'm going to give out the other one. I also need a copy for 25. So I like the live buying that's happening on the far right there. Faith Moyo wants to say something. I think you've got an offer. Faith Moyo, come through, but everybody else, let's use the chat section. We are taking note of where you are. We are actually, this is proper support. Price-wise, I'll guide you right now. If you are in Johannesburg, the price is 200 Rand. If you're in Harare, the price is $20, but we love $25 that are coming through. And if you are in Maputo, if you're in Mozambique, there's a price in Metcash, and we'll be able to give that one to you now. $25 from Munya Sanyika. I want a copy. I'm based on nail spread. Fantastic. Charlotte Sitole. My goodness, the book is being bought. All these are sales. We just need to coordinate ourselves in terms of where and how to get the book to you. I like this. More copies are going. Cape Town. We want a copy. Faith Rambire. Copies are already there in Cape Town. Copies are here in Johannesburg. Copies are in Harare. Copies are in Mozambique. We have gone regional. Copies are there online. You heard somebody say we can access copies online. We'll be able to tell you more about that for those who are outside of Africa. But wherever you are on the continent of Africa, I want to reach you with copies that are coming from the author. If they can come from Mozambique and ship to you, take note. In some instances, there might be a shipping cost, because you want an autographed copy. It becomes even that much more special. Are there copies in Madeira, Mozambique? Logistics are being done to make sure copies reach you. Please reach Ozias directly or reach Simbaba Nyeruke, depending where you are. Let me mute people. Yeah. All right. Reach Simbaba Nyeruke, who is there in the chat section. Inbox him right now. Please bombard him with messages right now concerning where you are. Please, I want 2 copies. Godfrey Madeira, who also said $25 or $50 is coming from Dr. Godfrey Madeira. Are there copies in Johannesburg? I am sitting in Johannesburg, Delvin. Delvin, I am sitting in Johannesburg. So there'll be copies available right here. Give us your details, your contacts. I think it would be awesome to get WhatsApp numbers. So inbox Simba, he has put his WhatsApp number right there. And keep pasting it, Simba, because it keeps flowing and going out of our site. Jola Chikuse, thank you so much, Mr. Chikuse, right here in Johannesburg, $25. Ah, this is amazing. Keep throwing those numbers in the chat section. This book that you are getting is a book that you need. It's a book that your family needs. A family that reads will go somewhere. In many homes, there's a lot of quarreling because of the quality of conversation in the home. If you want your home to have peace, get people to feed the factory of the minds. Get people to feed the factory of the lives, because you cannot win with your hands until you win with your mind. And how do you win with your mind? By feeding the factory with the right kind of material. What kind of material? Leadership content. Because we've got to have more leaders coming out of every sector of the economy. The WhatsApp numbers are popping in the chat section. I'm hoping that we are taking note of that. Somebody sitting in Kenya, Farai Dogo, he's sitting in Kenya right now. Karibu, thank you so much. $25 all the way. My goodness, people in Harare, Simba, I'm in Harare, I need a book, 20 US, yeah. So if you're in Harare, it's $20 US. And those who are bidding for 25, fantastic, it's awesome, we appreciate. This gentleman that we are talking to also donates a percentage of some of these proceeds to charity. He's doing a lot of work in the region. There'll be, I may not be able to disclose the percentage at this point in time, but I do know he's doing a lot of work. He has run workshops for free. He has helped young people. He has mentored thousands. So some of the proceeds are helping him to advance this cause of empowering leaders for the continent of Africa. Can I get it tomorrow? Stana says, I want to quote in my assignment and to submit this weekend. I think something can be done about that. Ozias is available to help you to put some of that material in the book. I want a soft copy. How much is a soft copy? It's available online. We'll give you a link in the chat section in a moment. Thank you so much. This has really blown my mind. Shalom Ngambi. I need a copy. I'm actually in Maputo. There is a link in the chat section. You want a soft copy, go into the chat section, purchase your soft copy. It will drop into your mailbox right this evening. Thank you so much. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. 2 copies for 500. I am in Pretoria. Gibson Mashanda. I'm always in Pretoria, by the way. I can hand deliver this one to you. But if you need to ship, please add 100 Rand. Send. I think we can e-wallet. I think that's allowed. I think we have a contact here. We need an e-wallet number in the chat section. Please add 100 Rand. The book will drop in your at your house on Monday. If you're in South Africa, anywhere in South Africa, we can ship the book to you for an extra 100 Rand. So 200 Rand per copy, and you want 2 copies, so that's 400 plus 100. That's already including the freight costs. Thank you so much. Do you accept RTGS at whatever rate? Or RTGS, the dynamic is that sometimes it's difficult to convert back. You can see Ozias is in the international space. I'm not able to fully answer that, but we don't want to deny you opportunity, by the way. RTGS, I'm not so sure how it works. The rates can make you dizzy sometimes. So that I'm not so sure. One day you get 200, 250, I don't know. Zip it and other options. The chat section, let's keep it open. Simpamanye get people's numbers and be able to answer these beyond the tenure of this meeting. I have a question for Ozias as we try and bring this to a close. We are about to close. I think about 10 past thereabout, we'll be able to close this meeting. There's a question that came earlier on, and I want to honor those that have been asking questions. If there's more questions, let me know. Antonio Sandy says, on the success of Egypt's economic recovery strategy, was it worthy of Pharaoh or Joseph as an instrument of God? That came from Antonio Sandy. Part B of the question, you can choose which one you want to answer first, Ozias. He says, looking at leadership as part of management activity, do you consider Pharaoh as a leader or a manager? Good questions. Is that not a question that you want for your assignment? Ah, I see something is about to happen. You're speaking to the real author here, and you want to be able to reference accordingly using the Harvard methodology. I see you, Antonio Sandy. Ozias, do you want to take that away?
Hello. Thank you so much, Antonio, for the question, but I think it escaped me at the end. Would you want to repeat it, Robson?
All right, you want the second question, or the first question says, on the success of Egypt's economic recovery strategy, was it worthy of Pharaoh or Joseph as an instrument of God? Was it worthy? I think it's a yes or no, and you can explain a bit further. Then part B of the question says, we are now looking at leadership and management activity that was happening around Pharaoh. Do you consider Pharaoh as a manager, or do you consider Pharaoh as a leader?
Yes,
I think the book title suggests that Pharaoh's model of leadership. So I think there's already an answer from my point of view, but you can come in as the author of the book.
Great. Thank you so much, Antonio. By the way, Antonio, you need to follow his. To subscribe to his website. To YouTube. I see he does a lot of trainings and teachings on biblical perspectives. So to answer you, it was worthy. The first part, I would say it was worthy for Joseph and Pharaoh to work on the economic recovery. Then the second one, which you asked, was Pharaoh a leader or a manager? I would say Joseph, in this case, in this particular case, Joseph was the manager, but in terms of leadership, the leader was Pharaoh in this case, because the leader is the one who has the vision and is the one who assigns people tasks and say, you do this, you do that, you do that. So in this case, Joseph was able to manage, and Pharaoh was the leader because he stood above Joseph and he allocated tasks to different people so that at the end of the day, the job could be done. I'm not sure if I answered you well.
Fantastic. Thank you for that question, Ozias. I was trying to answer people who are saying what we do about South Africa. I think I can be trusted enough with the issue of money. I don't want people to lose opportunity. I've put in the chat section, if you are in South Africa and you want a copy, anywhere in South Africa, by Tuesday, this could be at your house. Send your 200 Rand to the number that's given right there. My number is 0788 66634. Send your e-wallet, but please add 100 Rand for me to be able to ship the book to you. I will take it upon myself to make sure that you get a copy as soon as possible. When you do your e-wallet, then follow it up, take a screenshot, send me in my WhatsApp, the very same number, 0788 66634. Send your details, your name, the address where I'm sending this to, and so that I make sure that you get all your books. Everything will be accounted for accordingly. So let those e-wallets start coming and the number is clear. What is the number for Harare? We'll be able to give that one to you. Do we have a number for Ozias? Is your number, are we free to share your number in the chat section so that people can buy books beyond the tenure of this meeting?
Yes.
Also give us a WhatsApp number for Zimbabwe, any contacts, just do a bunch, generate communication about how people can send their monies around to make sure the books in a well-coordinated fashion. I know there could be other ways, but people who are about to exit, they need to know how to buy the book because I've got some copies here. Tomorrow I'll be at Courier Guy sending books. Can you e-wallet? And please go into my WhatsApp and make sure that you send your details and the books will get to you. Before we close, ladies and gentlemen, I think the questions, there were very few questions. I had another question, but in the interest of time, we can also discuss that after we have closed the meeting. I'll ask you, Ozias, what does it take to write a book and what obstacles do you go through? Those who stay beyond the tenure of the meeting, we want to respect time. They'll be able to hear an answer to that. What does it take to write a book? What are those steps? What constraints did you face as you went through writing this book until the point you said, I'm ready to publish? I'm keen to hear that part of the, in fact, it's a question that came through social media platforms. There's a prize draw. Ozias wants to give a prize, ladies and gentlemen. Don't run away. Don't run away. I know time is run out. There are some people who are going to get free books right now. But if you've already committed your $25, we need it. This one, it might be given to you. Ozias, how do you want to give away the books? What is your criteria for giving away the books?
Thank you so much, Robson. I would want to give the first gift to the first person who wrote in the chat box. When you said, where are you connecting from? The first person to respond to that person is the one that I would want to give a book for free.
Fantastic. Simba, I'm scrolling all the way up. I'm going to announce, good evening, welcome. Oh, there we go. Simba says, welcome. I say, okay. When I ask the question, Antonio Standing. Oh, is it the same person who asked the question? You see, Antonio, you deserve. In soccer, they call you the man of the match. Come on, you responded first. You asked 2 questions, very valid ones. Antonio deserves a copy, autographed. In fact, Ozias, put 2 signatures in that book. Antonio deserves a copy. Clap hands for that gentleman. Antonio, you are an amazing individual. Second copy goes to who? How many copies are you giving, by the way?
Let me give away 3 copies.
3 copies. Who is getting the second one? What's the criteria?
Actually, the second one is not getting a copy of the book, but is going to get some CDs, some sales CDs. Let me just the second person is going to get this.
Wow.
And if you open this, you'll find this. And I'll be able to give you a digital copy as well, so that you can start listening right away.
Who is that? Who is getting the sales CDs? The person will become a sales maverick, I know. Beyond today, they can sell ice to the Eskimos. I know that.
The last person to bid, who was that one?
The one who got number 1.
No, the last one. People were right. People were buying, right? People were buying in the chat section. The last one to buy, the last one to say I'm buying. The last one in the chat section.
Let's go, Tanzania. Simba Manyaruke, you've not been helping me here. Talk to me. Who's the last person to buy?
Simba, you are muted. You seem to be muted.
I'm scrolling up as well to check
the
what
last one. The last one is, yes. People were buying. The person who closed the buying is the one that should get this one.
People are asking about my WhatsApp number. There it is in the chat section. Those who want to WhatsApp me after you purchase the book, after you've sent some of you maybe want to send proof of payment, you can use that chat, the number in the chat section. Carry on and do that. That's my WhatsApp number in the chat. Simba, did you get somebody who?
I think
that should be Gibson. Mashanda is saying it was me. I'm sure he is. It should be Gibson Mashanda was the last one to say I want to buy.
Thank you, Gibson.
Okay, there are two things. We have people who are buying who say I want a copy for this much. But in terms of bidding, that's what we want to check. I'm seeing
not bidding, Simba. The last person to say I want to buy.
Okay, that's fine.
Gibson. I think let's run with Gibson. I like the energy, the determination to say it was me, the confidence. Gibson is getting that set of CDs. What are you giving away as the third prize, Ozias?
The third prize is going to the one who wrote more comments in the chat section. The one who was more active than everybody else in the chat section. Whether they were asking questions, they were commenting, or they were trying to help with the conversion of currencies, the one who had more chats than everybody else.
Simba Manyaruke, over to you. You are the auditor here.
Okay, I think let me just go through. Let's go to the next stage while I'm just filter.
Simply saying me, so
the auditor will check very quickly. Everybody said it was me, it was me, it was me, it was me. Now their comments are coming through. I told you at the beginning. Dr. Zuma says at the beginning, I told you at the beginning that you must participate. Their prize is coming your way. It was, everybody says it was me, it was me. All right, I'll leave that one to Simba as we go towards the end. I think let's give Ozias a time to give closing remarks. Please stay, because we are going to announce that person after Ozias gives his acknowledgements. There are so many people who took part in this particular event, and thank you all for coming, but Ozias wants to sum it all up and give acknowledgements. Let's keep the chat section going. You're not running, you're not going home. Most of you are already home anyway. Don't worry. Stick around for as long as your data is there. You might win the third prize. Simba is vetting. Over to you, Ozias.
Thank you so much, Robinson, for wonderful emceeing. I'm really excited to have friends like you. I just want to thank everybody who availed themselves to this launch. And I would want to thank people that have always supported me throughout this journey. You know, the journey of writing books is not easy. Like the question came and say, how do you write books? It's quite difficult. I'm not sure, Rapson, if I should answer that question now before I thank the people that I need to, or you would want me to answer it later.
I think let's thank people in case someone to run, they want to hear the vote of thanks. Then those who stay can have the benefit of either winning a book as well as hearing more about the book.
All right, that's fine. Thank you so much. I would want to appreciate people that have always supported me throughout my journey. It wasn't an easy journey because at one point I actually thought I would launch this book in 2020, but I didn't because of things that were constantly coming up. And so because of that, I really have to thank people that helped me push this book to where it is. So I would want to thank people like Louise Jones. She was one of the first people that I spoke to about this idea of the book, and she encouraged me, and she actually gave me one of the first editors to edit this book. It was a reference from Louise because of her support for me to write this book. And I would also want to thank my brother Andrew Mcheriwa. He's one of the first people again that I gave the manuscript when I was still thinking of writing it, and I gave him, he went through it, encouraged me. So that encouragement actually yielded some results. Then my brother-in-law, Lawrence Tafirei, I also gave him the book. I'm sure he went through it 3 times. It was still a manuscript, but he went through the book 3 times in one day, just marking and making some changes 3 times in one day. I'd never seen such commitment. So I really, really appreciate him. Then I would want to appreciate Felicidade Mate. I'm not sure if she's still here. She has always been helping me, especially with the Portuguese translation. After the translation was done, there were a lot of things that were not right, and she had to make sure that the book was in its rightful form. She was having some sleepless nights working on it. And Onesmo Singer as well, he was the first to translate it, and he had a lot of sleepless nights going through the translation of the book. Then I would want to thank Simbanyama Zhao, because for some of you may know him from Zim. He's a prolific author. He's been doing a lot of writings. He's the guy who did the running around for me whenever I needed anything, because I would go and ask him what is needed, like things like the ISBNs. He would run around and make sure those things are in place. So such people can never be taken for granted. Then there are people that always encourage me. And as I was going through this journey, people like Jonah Chikuse, is somebody that I look up to in the industry, in the insurance industry that I was in. I remember, he doesn't know this, but I remember at one point when I was still new in insurance, my boss asked me, what do you want to be in insurance? And I said, I want to be a risk assessor, you know, to be like those people like Jonah Chikuse. You know, that's what I wanted by then before I rebelled against insurance, but he's somebody who always encourages me every time I meet him. Helen Mandishona, I really appreciate her as well. She's always supportive. Whenever I speak to her, I feel encouraged. Samuel Mapuzzo, like he said, we first met around 2010 when they invited me to take them through some team building. And from 2010, Samuel Mapuzzo left Coca-Cola and went to Banga BC. He's always been giving me some jobs now. Access Bank, we've always been working together. I appreciate such people. Dr. Pio, he was my role model when I was still young. I would look up to him. I would listen to his teachings and ask him a lot of questions. As he said, Richard Uchena was my best friend in high school. I really appreciate Richard. I've also seen Pastor Agrippa here. I'm not sure if he's still around. I really, really appreciate him. He's somebody that always encourages me every time I meet him and we speak. We have people like Juliana Maisoreva. I'm not sure if she's still here as well. She used to be my boss, and we have always maintained a good relationship until now. She has encouraged me. We used to share with each other our dreams, and she would always encourage. Then I would also want to thank Rabson Shumba, who was the MC today. Rabson, at one point, he said, I need to get a shambo, a wire shambo that I should use against you because you are not writing books. He has written several books and he'd say, yours is not yet printed. Right now, I'm going to publish another one. What's happening with you? So he's always been encouraging me. And when this one came out, it was easy for me to say, Rabson, you are the MC, whether you like it or not. Whatever program he had to cancel. And there were no excuses. I know today I was facilitating a workshop, but he had to run early to make sure that he comes and facilitates. I really appreciate it. Then Simba has done a lot of things for me in terms of this book. He did the editing, he did the typesetting, he did all the graphics that you were seeing me sharing on social media to say 9 days left, 8 days left, 3 days left. It's Simba who has been doing all of that. And I really appreciate you, Simba. He did the editing of the book at a point when I thought this book is now ready for printing. Let it go for printing. I just said, Simba, can you typeset this book for me so that I can be able to have an online version? He started working through the book and we started to see that there was a lot of work still that had to be done. So I really, really appreciate Simba. I also appreciate Faith Rambire. She has always been supportive. Some of you, I may not mention your names, but I really, really thank you. You are just 2 men. I'm sure you've seen. If you look at the numbers that we have here, there are a lot of people that are here and I cannot thank all of you enough. And I cannot leave out Linda, my wife. I know a lot of people when they are in front of audiences, they say, my wife, please come here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Then you hear the next thing, they are divorcing. But in my case, I've been blessed. Linda has always been supportive. She supports me in tremendous ways. She is the one that works behind the scenes. Even for today, she has been running around, making sure that everything is in place. Look, this thing is not right. This one should be on this place, this position, right? She does everything. And like Rabson said, they've been deprived of family time many a time, but she doesn't complain. She always believes in my vision. Ever since I was still in Zim, when I still conceived this idea that I want to be a global speaker, from that day until now, she has always been supportive. And you know, it's not easy. Speaking business is not easy. It's quite difficult, but I've never heard a complaint. Some of my friends will sometimes share, and I hear some people say, but it was now becoming a bit, some friction, you know, when things are not running well, you know, with madam, at home. Me, I never heard such. But now I don't say it because it will appear like I'm lying or I'm bragging, but this is the moment for her to hear it from me. I really thank her from the bottom of my heart. And my kids, they sometimes suffer not having their father around, but they've always been supportive. So I really, really want to thank everybody. If I even mentioned your name, it's not that you are not important, but just that you are too many. If I start mentioning your names, you may end up going to sleep or just log off and go because I'm taking a lot of your time. But I really, really want to appreciate you guys. Moses Zoro from Abu Dhabi. Thanks so much. Pharaoh from Kenya. Eunice Mukashe, one of my very good clients from UNDP. There are many, many organizations here that let me not start mentioning, but guys, I really appreciate you. Abdul Nefs, I appreciate you, my friend. Tapiwaj Tio, thank you so much. I appreciate every one of you, but let me not keep going, otherwise I may sleep here tonight. Rabson, thank you so much, my friend. You can take it.
Obrigado. I think we still have unfinished business. Simba Manyaruke is our auditor. and he's been thanked earlier on in terms of the man who's been running behind the scenes and all the other individuals, not mentioned by name. But Simba, you've got an announcement in terms of who the man or woman of the match has been. It's not for me to announce. Simba, take it away.
Yeah, I think in terms of the number of lines that have been written in the comments, I think Simbiso is scoped the prize.
Mention surnames as well.
Simbiso Katsekera.
Simbiso Katsekera. So yes. What is that person winning?
Right, Simbiso, you are going to win my CD. This one, my CD, these are 2 CDs, side A and B, which is called How to Achieve Your Dreams. How to Achieve Your Dreams. You tell me if you want the Portuguese version, I'll give you the Portuguese version, which says Realização dos Sonhos. If you want the English version, I'll give it to you again. But before I give you the hard copies, I'll first send you the digital copies so that you can start listening to them right away. Then I'll send the physical discs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. One thing we forgot to mention, those of us who speak Portuguese, the Portuguese version of the book is coming your way as well. So yes, you might have the English one. Simbiso says, I want an English one, perfect. But those who want the book in Portuguese, there are final edits that are being done. We are putting, we'd rather give you something which is finely done, a cake that has got everything you need, than give you a cake which is not 100%. So we thought, delay it by a few days, but then give you a product. So stick close. We want those who don't have the handles for Motive Center to have them. In the chat section, please, Ozias, could you put the email address? Could you please put the phone numbers? Could you put all the contacts necessary for us to be able to contact you for the Portuguese versions? But hey, let people follow Motive Center, put those Twitter handles, put every single handle that exists, every site, because that's where you're going to make the announcement anyway, when the Portuguese version of the book is finally landed in Mozambique or wherever the individuals are. Makorokoto makuru. From me tonight, I think I want to officially end the program. Yes, slightly over time, but good things are happening right here. I want to officially end the program so that those who want to stay and interact with Ozias on a one-to-one, if you want breakaway room, some of you have met for the first time since 19-something when you were in school. I don't want to reveal your ages. You want to continue the discussions. Let's keep the party going. This is an after-party section. But for me, Rabson Shumba, it's been an honor, sir, to MC your event, and what a success it's been. The numbers have been over 100, I was noticing. Yes, some people are running, it's past their bedtime, I know, and therefore we have to allow them to go. But in the after party section, Ozias, please stick around. You're the man of the event, in case there are people who want to come to the microphone and to the video and talk to you. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, the event is officially over, but please stick around, because you might have questions that they have not been answered and you want to speak. Please, let's interact, let's have fun, let's chat. I don't know at what point we will then close the meeting. Simbiso wants to say something. There's a question from Simbiso. We have closed the event, but Simbiso, take it away. The hand is up, Simbiso, unless it's an old hand, all right? Is there anybody who wants to speak to our author? Anybody wants to come to the video? It's an opportunity right now. Faith, you've been smiling. Faith,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the prize that you gave me, Ozias. If you remember, I'm one of the guys who was asking for your book, and I'm still waiting to get a copy as soon as I get in Harare. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Fantastic, Simbiso. I think
thank you so much.
Be available in Harare. As soon as it goes to Harare, I'm sure we put the number for Harare so that it doesn't get, unless there are other WhatsApp numbers, put the number for Harare so that it can get through. You have comments for Simbiso? Yes.
Thank you so much, Simbiso. Yes. Yeah, your copies will be reserved. I'll make sure your copy is reserved in Harare because they are already there. I had put the number for Harare. Maybe let me just put it again. But thank you so much. Just let us know before you go to Harare so that we make sure the person holds the book and you agree on a place to meet. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. We have Vigilo Francis. I'm sorry. Vigilo Francisco Bubai. Thank you so much, Vigilo. Do you want to take it away? Talk to us.
Muito obrigado, Ozias. Muito obrigado mesmo pela essa grande oportunidade de podermos testemunhar esta grande obra sobre a liderança de Faraó. Como eu estava a dizer antes, na verdade, quando eu ouvi isso, liderança de Faraó, pensei que, olha, que coisas que ele vai partilhar sobre o Faraó, porque sempre que se fala de Faraó, não são assim coisas melhores, mas Ozias conseguiu buscar e trazer-nos coisas concretas que também podemos aproveitar e que vai servir para nós, a nossa geração e para a geração vindoura. Então, quero lhe agradecer e encorajar bastante, de já para diante, dizer que pronto, nós também vamos fazer o máximo para que este livro seja consumido a nível da Beira, onde eu estou, e muitos dos meus amigos, quando eu partilhei, na verdade, gostaram muito da ideia e dou mais força para Ozias. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Virgilio. Muito obrigado. Virgilio is simply saying thank you so much for the book. When I heard the Pharaoh Model of Leadership, I really wondered what can we learn from Pharaoh, because we're always hearing Pharaoh being demonized. Thank you so much, meu amigo. Eu agradeço muito pelas essas palavras. Eu sei que você sempre estava a me apoiar. Qualquer projeto que eu faço, você é uma das primeiras pessoas para comprar, então eu agradeço muito. Virgilio is one of the first people who buy everything that I produce. He's in Beira, but he makes sure he pays and then he waits until it comes. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Fantastic. You know, you guys are making me love Portuguese. I think you need to teach some of the prophets who do tongues in Shona to do it in Portuguese. It sounds more genuine. It sounds more real. It sounds more heavenly. I love how you guys did it. I know, Faith, your hand is up. You're itching to say something. Talk to us.
I just want to say congratulations, Ozias. One word to describe you is transformation. I met Ozias a couple of months ago. He was presenting it at an event, a women's event. And all the women there have been asking me, can you give us his number? Because what he said to us transformed us. So congratulations on your book. I can't wait to read it. I've bid it $50, though it came late. But I'm going to get that copy and read and definitely apply what you're going to share with us. So thank you so much, and hoping everybody will be transformed the way I was transformed.
Fantastic, Faith. Thank you so much for reaching out to your network. And what I want to encourage, because there are many people that you've been talking to concerning and reaching out to Ozias, what you can also do, and here's the thing, Faith, you can buy, you can sell them the book. That's a precursor to them having the number. Do you want the number? Not yet. Buy the book. How much is it? Instead of $25, $30, you get $5. I'm giving you business principles, easy ways of making money. You can't just share that number for free. But hey, that's network marketing the other lady was talking about. But bring those people on board. They want to learn a lot more about women in leadership. We need more women in leadership. In my workshop today, I was talking about how can we get women to break the glass ceiling, to get to executive position, to sit on boards, to head the UN. We can't always have a men's world. No ways. We need you, Faith, and others to rise to the table of endeavor. So the book is there for them. Before you share the number, tell them, come and get the book first. When you get a book, the best way to read the mind of Ozias, read his book first. Mentorship follows. But having read the book, now when you have conversation with him, it starts with, I need to know more about this. It becomes a very important one.
Thank you, Rapson.
Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to interact? Remember, this is family. Pastor Agrippa, we talked about you earlier on. Masama, I know that man. I know that man. Come to the video, sir, and talk to us and bless us. I know you very well. Many years ago, I think 2006, 7, we used to meet at some church conferences in Harare. Come and let's hear your quality of Portuguese, sir Agrippa. Okay, he's making coffee somewhere. Anybody else wants to say something? We're having a family meeting here. Fellow South Africans, today is lockdown. This is a family meeting. Faith Rambire, your microphone is off, so it's on. So, hey, talk to us.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Rapson. This was an awesome book launch, and congratulations to my brother Ozias and to everybody behind the scenes. More so to Linda, we appreciate all the hard work that you guys put in, and I just can't wait to share the word in the book. I know some people they didn't join, but they were saying they can't wait to get a copy of the book. So congratulations, Mukoma Ozias and everybody behind the scenes.
Because you said, Mukoma, I declare a 10% discount on the book. Instead of $25, you are getting for $22.50. So the 10% discount, this is granted. Mukoma na Sisi, and Sisi support. But let's increase it to $30 for Sisi. Sisi must support Mukoma, of course. Sisi.
Yeah,
$30 for you. Tato chinja mpaka. Anybody else want to say something?
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to Ozias. I had the privilege of having the inside information as one of the editors of the book. But I must say, really to come up with a concept of Pharaoh as a good leader, it took someone special, someone who really is intelligent. I think we've gathered this the reasons. I think from the testimonies that we had from school, that Ozias was someone who was keen on reading books and all that. So I think this is a must read for everyone, even if you are not yet a leader. But I think you need to get a copy of this book. I myself, even though I worked on the book a couple of times, I'm still having. I still need to go and read it again and again. I think it's a book that is one of those books that are supposed to be just on your shelf as a reference book. So I encourage everyone who is here to purchase the book for yourself, and also to bless someone. It's a good present to give to any leader, to give to your boss. If you have a boss at work, give that book to your boss, and I think life will be much easier at work. Yeah, so that's my contribution.
I think now, anyone else who wants to say something? I'm just here to maintain order. Derek Jarare, Tendai Mlambo, did you speak to us already? Because I saw your microphone is now.
Hello, my microphone is on.
Hello, sir.
Yes. I would like to say congratulations to my channels. This has been a great launch, and I really learned a lot. And also, I'm just like the previous speaker who said he had a sort of a preview. At one time, I edited a little bit when it was just starting. So I still have a bit of knowledge on what it is all about, but I want to gain more. So I will buy the book from Joburg. But really, on a serious note, thanks so much for making us proud. You have proved that you are a real leader with all the nuggets that you have put into the book. Yes, it has been a difficult thing to think one can learn from Pharaoh, because as all the other guys have a thing that takes deep revelation and concentration and discipline to come up with such a good book. Really, you have made us proud, and thank you so much for leading us, and we are following. Thank you.
Fantastic. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Who else? Family, talk to Ozias one-on-one. He wants to hear that. Gil Wilhelmina Timba.
It's Guillermina. I know it's a difficult name to pronounce.
Guilhermina. Thank you.
Yes.
Take it away.
I will speak in Portuguese. I think I'm more comfortable. Primeiro, boa noite a todos. Ozias, os meus parabéns pelo lançamento do livro. O Ozias é uma caixinha de surpresas. Eu conheci o Ozias numa formação de motivação e depois já estava a dar formações e hoje tem um livro e eu acredito que virão muitos mais. Infelizmente, Não conseguia entrar às 18h30, estava a tentar, mas a senha não estava a funcionar, até que acabei recebendo ajuda e consegui entrar. Eu não vi o preço do livro em meticais, mas sem dúvidas eu irei comprar, porque eu sei que com Ozias sempre aprende muita coisa. Muitíssimo obrigada, força, os meus parabéns para si e também em particular para a sua esposa, porque em quase todas as sessões que eu tive com Ozias, sempre exaltou esta força que a sua esposa lhe dá. Parabéns. Obrigada pelo convite.
Thank you. Guilhermina, what she's basically saying is that she's congratulating me for writing the book. She has known me some time back when I was running some motivational seminars and workshops, so she's been part of that for quite some time. And after that, I started training their company, and she has been a client. And Guilhermina is also one person who buys everything that I've produced. So thank you so much, Guilhermina. Eu agradeço muito pelo teu apoio. Eu sei sempre que qualquer coisa que eu vou produzir, tenho as pessoas que eu sei que eles vão comprar. Então, você é uma daquelas pessoas. Então, eu agradeço muito obrigado. Thank you so much, Mr. Rapson. Back to you.
Awesome. Anybody else, family? We will close in the next how many? I don't know whether we'll close. We will just make sure people's airtime runs out before we close. So the more, when you bomb out, we assume that your Wi-Fi is off, there's load shedding.
Hello.
There's somebody there.
Hello. It's Immaculate. I'm the younger sister.
Yes, go ahead, Immaculate.
I just want to say I'm happy, my brother. I'm very much happy. Thank you so much for what you have done. Your book, it has got great ideas and insight. We'll learn more in this book. What I can say, your book is done. It's not only going to help leaders, but also us, a lot of people from different sections of life. So we are going to buy the book, but I thank you, my brother. You have made us so proud. And I just want to say, I love you so much.
Thank you, Emma. I really appreciate it. Emma is the last born in our family. She's the one who's married to Lawrence, who was just talking a couple of minutes ago. So thank you guys. I love you so much. Moses is always a hand up. Oh, Rapson, I'm not taking your job. Please do what you do.
No, carry on. It's free for all. I was about to say, brother-in-law, and there must be almost like a bookstore in their house. There must be a point of contact. So send them stock, let them buy the books at retail at what a wholesale price and resell. Network marketing, Baba. This is how it works. Empower the family. All right, Moses.
Hello, Rapson.
Hi, Tendai.
My hand has been up for a long time.
Sorry about that. It's no longer there. Moses had overtaken, but anyway, take it away, Tendai.
Thank you. Mr. Ozias, thank you so much, Bamnini, for the latest production. Thanks also to my name, Linda. I think you are having a lot of good support there. Thank you for this production. When you mentioned this title about Pharaoh, it didn't make sense to me. But then after this launch today, I've realized that there was a lot of work that was put in this production. And thank you so much. I'm really excited, and I'm itching to have a copy and start on it. Like tomorrow, I will get hold of you tomorrow, since I'm also in Maputo. Thank you so much, Bamnin. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And everyone, okay, everyone prepare, because I think there'll be a lot beyond this book. I know many people are asking, when is the next book? Before the next book, this book will be a course. So if you don't understand anything in the book, wait for courses that are coming that will help you to become a leader. Some of you will become teachers of the very same subject. Let's popularize this book and become trainers of the concept, because you'll be asked, you've read about the Pharaoh model, and you've been a student. The same way Ozias was a student of John, Dr. Maxwell, you become a student of Ozias. Come to Motive Center, go into the workshops, get a deeper understanding. What we have today is just a tiny little bit of what you can get when you then go face to face. I'm sure there'll be many Zoom sessions where Ozias will unpack this. And of course, those will be empowering sessions. I know, Moses, you were there before Andrew and Bongai. We'll give you a chance just now. Let's hear from Moses and the burning bush.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, Ozias and Linda. This has been a very good event, and I would like to thank you, for changing the world. The way that you're impacting, the world from Mozambique, South Africa, is quite amazing. So this is indeed a great stride, that you have taken, to publish a book that is going to change the world. I'll obviously buy some copies, and it will be above, the retail price. Thank you so much for affording us this opportunity to be part of this great event. Congratulations.
Fantastic, Moses. Thank you so much for that. And the above the retail price, I like that's the sound of that. Fantastic. You're supporting the cause and showing that you register your presence with your gift and buying things at above the normal price. Andrew, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabson. I want to commend you. You are one of the greatest MCs ever. May God bless you. Yes. And I just want to say congratulations to my brother Ozias for the great work and the wonderful work. You have shown us the path that is possible. And with the Pharaoh Model of Leadership, I have read it and read it again, and I will continue to read it. So we just want to say, with my wife, we just want to say thank you so much for the inspiration and everything, and may God bless you.
Yes, I also want to say to my Bamkuru, congratulations, and we are really proud of you. And for us pastors, we always, maybe when it comes to Pharaoh, we pray against the spirit of Pharaoh, but now to learn all these nuggets of leadership, I mean, it's so amazing. And we believe definitely our ministry is going to go to another level with such a powerful book. Congratulations and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Mucheri. Well, I know you give final comments to everyone just now. Bongai, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mcherio, for inviting me to this book launch. And say, Mr. MC, it was a great event. Thank you so much for making it fun. And I've never attended one of these, and it was really fun. When he said it's going to be on Zoom, I was just wondering, but I've discovered that it can really be fun. So thank you so much. Mr. Mcheriwa is my mentor. I met him once, and my life took a very good turn. So I want to thank you for answering God's call on your life and continue to do the great work that you are doing. Thank you so much. You mean a lot to me. Thank you.
Fantastic. Unzai zvegumi kana mwana ndokukumburai ukomoya nezvegumi kuti aiwa
zvirikuuya igore redouble tichaunza double.
You see now, even book mogotenga nedouble price kuti mentor zvamakaita zviya
ndizvozochaizvo.
Ashley, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Robson. I really enjoyed your hosting. That was immaculable. Thank you so much to Mr. Ozias. I want to speak like the Portuguese people in Mozambique. I really appreciate your support for my uncle, and I want to congratulate you, Sekuru, and also I want to congratulate Linda Mcheriwa. I am well aware of how much she has been doing a lot of the writing and inspiration in the background. Mr. Ozias has been working hard on this book. And, the one thing that I've learned so much about him throughout his journey is just the ability to wait until, he is satisfied and the product is out. I've seen so many authors, write, excited, launch. But with him, it's like patience is such a very important attribute that he shares with us all the time. We're so proud. And as Mr. Robson mentioned one time when he was hosting, he mentioned that leadership is one of the things we're lacking in Africa. And I'm so glad that you have taken something biblical and that we all relate to as Africans, but the Bible, we all know it. And you've taken that and you've taught leadership in a different way. And also we are all leaders of our own lives. So I'm very excited about it. Thank you so much, and I am very happy. We're very proud. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. Great honor. Somebody's hand went up, then went down. Why did you change your mind? I don't know what happened.
Read the comments.
We pray for the spirit of Pharaoh. Okay. We pray for the spirit of Pharaoh to be upon us. So let me read the comments. From now on, the spirit of Pharaoh is good. Mukwasha, we must buy 10 books. The books coming. Derek Jarare, fantastic. And some people needed to leave. Gurure, okay, I think it goes too far back now to 2027. Great moment when is the launch of the next book? I think I mentioned earlier on. Yeah, there are comments. I think let me give Ozias the opportunity as well. I mean, many people have commented. I think you might want to sum it all up in one round response.
Right, thank you so much. Rhapsody, you've already tried to explain what's the idea. It's Charlotte Stoller who had the hand up, and I was keen to hear your voice. Charlotte, had you raised the hand by mistake? It would have been nice for me to hear your voice. And Abdul Neves, I would also be excited to hear from you. Rui Abudash, you had your hand up and it went down. I wonder what's happening. Yes, Charlotte, would you want to go ahead?
Oh, greetings, Mr. Ozias. I don't know where to start and where to end. I've learned so much. When I saw it on the Facebook, then I said, how? Pharaoh, what is it going to be? So as I was listening to the small script, the small videos, then I said, wow, there's something more good which is coming on. So I believe I'm going to get more books that I can sell this side in Nelspruit. Congratulations. And also it's to you, Mr. MC. It was so wonderful. It was so wonderful. Thank you so much. Congratulations again, Mr. Ozias and your wife, Linda, for the job well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Right.
Charlotte. I really appreciate it.
There's a hand. Derek's hand is up. Jarare. Are you Harare? This is spelling is Ozias Jarare. Derek.
Yes, my name is Derek. Since everyone is saying Nkoma, Sekuru, I can also say Nkoma. I like so Ozias. It has been at SFGs. I think it's more than now 20 years ago now when I was just starting, when I was leaving the industry. I was just starting out. Then later on, what happened to Zimbabwe economy. When I finished varsity, I had to go to Botswana, so many countries. Now I'm in South Africa. Then I bumped into him, and I'm surprised he's now very fluent in Portuguese, and now he's now on a different direction. Because most Zim people we have gone abroad or other countries are still in insurance. But what I liked about the book is that about Pharaoh, there's nothing which compares to what is done. We know Pharaoh is someone who's a dictator and who does something bad. If you ask someone about Pharaoh, people in church, they pray against the spirit of Pharaoh. But now he's telling about leadership qualities. And I had to go deeper and now think that, but okay, now this guy, if they build pyramids, it means this guy must have been speaking about efficiency. There must be project managements there. These guys were doing something right. So it means that we are not looking at the bigger picture. We have a narrow mind, which we are just following. So what Ozias has done is just he has given us the ability to think beyond what we see in books, because what we see in books is what is prescribed. But what he has done is just he has shown us the other angle, which means it's always good to look into all the areas before you make a conclusion. Thanks very much, Ozias, for this. I'm Joe Beck. I'll liaise with Rapson and buy a book for me and my wife. Thank you.
Fantastic. 2 copies.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Derek. Yeah, Derek, I met him when he was on attachment. That's many years ago. So for me to see him here joining, I'm really excited. Thanks so much, Derek. I really appreciate you. Sylvia, hey, my sister. I last met her many years ago as well. She's in Ireland. Sylvia, please say something.
Hey, hi, Ozzy.
Yeah.
How are you?
Great, thanks. Good to hear from you and to see you. Although I can't see, now I can see.
Now I'm here. Yeah, I just want to say congratulations. You know, just listening from the nuggets you gave the other time, and just listening from everyone who was just talking, who had the opportunity to kind of preview the book before it came out. It's something that I can't wait to have my own copy, and I'm going to support it. I'm going to buy my own copy there. It will just go to Zimbabwe anyway. I'll find someone from there to bring it here. On that note as well, I just want to say to Linda, you are an awesome wife, right? Ozzy, keep that woman for yourself, right? She's there, she's supporting, and she's just amazing. It's not easy for someone just to write the book and the wife is there, you know, not getting the quality time, if I can put it that way. But well done, Linda. Anyway, ndinongoti makorokoto. Let me just say bambikika pamunikapuwa bhuku remahara.
Yes, we're always been Wakuru. We're looking up to you, guys. That's it.
No, I'm missing. I'll pay for my copy. I'm supporting you. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
All right. Okay.
I think, Linda, if you're still here, you're a key beneficiary to Nation.
Yeah, I think in the Linda.
Straight.
Yes.
It's up to Linda to then say, 10%.
Exactly.
She has always been 100%. She has always been the recipient of 100%. Then she allocates some to me, so it's okay.
There we go. There's a pastor who used to say, "Keep giving, guys. All proceeds go to charity. All proceeds." So people kept giving, not knowing the wife's middle name was Charity. You see? So atapiwa pay because nditenda lokunyora but custodian ndiani
ndilinda kapa moni aiwa
Abdul, you've been
thank you so much. I'll give the other ones the opportunity to talk.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Abdul Neves, I think he can give us some more Portuguese. Where is Abdul? Okay, he's not there. Widow still wants to talk, and then as we draw towards the end, I think 9 o'clock we can officially close. Rui Abdul, I want more Portuguese. There's something about Portuguese. Rui
Abdul.
Boa noite.
He's around.
Boa noite.
Hey, senhor Rui, boa noite.
Boa noite. Today I want to talk in Portuguese. I want to express my feelings very well.
Yes.
Primeiro quero parabenizar o Sr. Ozias pelo livro. Eu, por acaso, venho acompanhando, seguindo o Sr. Ozias já faz muito tempo. É alguém que eu admiro muito. Às vezes penso até em ser como o Sr. Ozias, mas precisa de minha força de caminhar para chegar lá. Esse modelo de liderança do Faraó, por acaso, para mim foi algo inesperado e não, o contexto em si, como todo mundo falou, Faraó é conhecido por lados mais negativos, mas o seu Ozias trouxe-nos a parte mais bonita, a parte que nós nunca olhamos muito para ela. Então, está de parabéns, seu Ozias. Eu, pessoalmente, quero livro, mas não gosto de livros em português, quero livro em inglês, porque quero sempre aumentar a minha maneira de perceber o que está escrito em inglês e nesse ramo de poder ser um dia alguém como o senhor Ozias. Parabéns e muito obrigado por me convidar no lançamento do seu livro. Muito obrigado.
Thank you so much. Mr. Rui is basically saying, congratulations for the book. I never looked at Pharaoh the way that is being portrayed now. And I would want to have my English version so that I can improve on my English, so that one day I can be able to speak both languages like I do. Thank you so much, Mr. Rui.
Lovely stuff. I want more Portuguese. A lot of English happened today. Abdul, I'm back to you. And Claudia, wow, powerful name. Silveira. I want more Portuguese.
Felicidade as well.
Felicidade.
Jânio Myanga. We also need to thank you. Yes, Abdul.
Hi everyone, Felicidade here.
Felicidade, would you want to wait a bit? Let's first hear from Abdul. Then you,
Good.
I know I'll keep you. Let's hear from Abdul first. Thank you. Abdul.
Okay.
First of all, I would like to thank, should I speak English or Portuguese?
Portuguese.
These people are preferring Portuguese, Abdul.
Ok. Em primeiro lugar, quero agradecer o Ozias. Já desde o início, eu conheci ele há mais ou menos 4 anos atrás. E sempre, eu me lembro muito bem que foi no hotel em frente ali do Tiger e percebi logo que ele tinha um nível de leadership muito alto. Isso foi num daqueles hotéis ali à frente. E desde sempre acreditei que o Ozias podia nos oferecer muito mais. E lembro-me que eu me aproximei a ele e a primeira vez ele não falou nada. Só depois do terceiro encontro, acredito que estávamos a observar, é que eu comecei a sentir a capacidade de carisma que o próprio Ozias tem. E não só, notei uma coisa muito importante nele, que é saber ponderar, ensinar-nos a ponderar, ensinar-nos a pôr aquilo que devemos pôr à frente, não atrás dos bois. E como tal, eu só posso agradecer, sempre vejo muitos posts e acompanho muito bem os Ozias. Já há mais ou menos 1 ano que não conversamos, mas tenho visto a sua capacidade e tenho assistido muita coisa que o Ozias apresenta. Eu sei que o Ozias, eu ofereci também algumas ideias, contribuí para o seu sucesso. Vejo que usa muito o mídia, que é o social media, e lembro que nós conversamos muito sobre isso e notei que o Ozias is mastering more than everyone.
It's 21 hours.
Eu vou comprar o livro, apenas quer saber onde exatamente vai se encontrar e acho que os meus comentários, o meu contributo vai ser aí. Parabéns. Em inglês, congratulations, Ozias. We're here to assist you, help you whenever you need us. At the same time, I expect you to support me on my endeavor. Thank you. Obrigado.
Thank you so much, Abdul. Just quickly, Abdul is one person that I met, like I said, slightly over 4 years ago, but he's one person that I met and I said, this guy is genuine. Abdul and his wife, Nadia, Yeah, you guys, I love you so much. I just felt that this guy is genuine, and he has always been somebody who's genuine. So I really appreciate you, Abdul. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Felicidade wanted to say something and we cut it.
Oh yeah, who was that Felicidade, né?
Yes.
Over to you, Felicidade.
Boa noite a todos.
Boa noite, Felicidade.
Boa noite. Gostava de parabenizar mais uma vez Ozias pela iniciativa e parabenizá-lo também pela capacidade não só de liderança, mas também de trazer algo que é fundamental para as nossas vidas em particular, assim como também para a vida de uma sociedade e também de uma organização. Tive a oportunidade de ver de perto o livro e a liderança, o modelo de liderança de Faraó é um livro que vai despertar em cada um de nós a capacidade de liderança. Não só o liderar, mas também sabermos que podemos ser os portadores de uma informação que vai mudar uma sociedade. E não sermos os fazedores ou os ativos na mudança da sociedade. E esta liderança vai fazer com que nós individualmente tenhamos a capacidade de recrutar pessoas capazes de fazer esta mudança. Podemos sim receber a informação, podemos sim ser os visionários dessa informação, mas não as pessoas que vão executar esta informação. Então, esta relevância que o livro nos traz, desperta ou vai despertar em cada um de nós que fomos a ler, que fomos a debruçar, desta capacidade individual que nós podemos criar dentro de nós, ou que já existe, mas que não foi despertada, de sermos aqueles que vão estar em frente de uma mudança, quer que seja na nossa vida em particular, assim como na vida de uma sociedade ou na vida de uma organização. Falar deste livro é falar de mudança individual, é falar de mudança de uma organização para todo aquele que deseja seguir ou todo aquele que deseja despertar o modelo de liderança de Faraó dentro de si. Não estamos a falar de algo egocêntrico, mas estamos a falar de uma abertura que Faraó deu, de uma abertura que Faraó tinha dentro de si, que provavelmente mesmo ele não tinha descoberto, mas no momento crucial que ele olhou com olhos de águia, ele viu o perigo à frente, ele viu a necessidade de deixar um pouco de lado as pessoas que já trabalhavam com ele, que eram os magos, neste caso do Egito, aqueles que tinham capacidade de transferir informações para Faraó de qualquer coisa que existia nessa altura no Egito, aqueles que tinham capacidade de interpretar sonhos, mas que, infelizmente, aquele em particular, eles não tiveram capacidade de interpretar. Então, Faraó foi aberto o suficiente para pôr essas pessoas de lado e trazer uma pessoa em particular para liderar esta expedição rumo a tempo de fome. E esta pessoa foi um prisioneiro, foi tirado da prisão, o José, e José começou a fazer parte de uma equipe de pessoas que durante anos e anos estavam ao lado de Faraó. Então, esta capacidade que nós como líderes temos que ter, ou vamos despertar em nós, de trazer novos elementos que vão trazer mudança, ou que vão permitir que haja uma mudança dentro da nossa organização, ou que haja uma mudança dentro da nossa vida. Não vamos permanecer naquilo que nós temos, mas vamos ser abertos para receber ideias, vamos ser abertos para receber transformações e vamos aceitar, vamos analisar e vamos ter pessoas capacitadas dentro da nossa equipe, de modo que o tempo de seca não nos abale ou não nos apanhe e dentro deste período de seca nós possamos ser uma luz para a sociedade, possamos ser uma luz para aqueles que nos rodeiam e possamos ser uma luz também para o mundo. Foi o que aconteceu com o Egito. Então, cada um de nós vai despertar esse espírito de liderança e vai aprender que não somos apenas nós que recebemos a informação e digerimos e estamos lá para executar. Recebemos a informação, sim, e vamos reunir uma equipe, pessoas capacitadas, pessoas que estejam em condições de liderar essa expedição rumo ao nosso futuro melhor. É mais ou menos isso que tinha para compartilhar e parabenizar mais uma vez Ozias, parabenizar a família forte e maravilhosa que ele tem Linda, uma grande mulher, admiro muito essa senhora e dizer mais uma vez, Ozias, parabéns. Este livro é uma maravilha. As 34 ideias lá lançadas também são uau mesmo. E eu também serei portadora das duas versões, não só em português, mas também em inglês. E para todos aqueles que ainda não decidiram, façam uma decisão rápida, porque vamos conseguir ver aquilo que até agora ainda não conseguimos enxergar em nossas vidas individuais, assim como na vida das nossas organizações. Parabéns mais uma vez, vocês.
Obrigado, Felipe. Muito obrigado mesmo. Eu não vou traduzir, porque essa mensagem era para mim. Então, eu não vou traduzir para os outros. I will not translate, because this message was specifically for me, so I will not translate. And also, for the sake of time, Rapson, you wanted to wrap up at 9, and it seems we have slightly gone above. Thank you so much, Felipe. You know I appreciate you all the time. Thank you so much.
That's what happens when good things are happening. And we totally appreciate everybody that has come. And for me, it's been an honor and a privilege to be part of history in the making. Everybody, good night, sleep well, and dream about following the Pharaoh model of leadership. Let's see you exhibiting some of those traits and bringing them out into the open. And there are 34 lessons every single day. You know, it's a devotional, Ozias. Every month, pick one. Every day, pick one. Pick one. Of course, some people get paid on the 34th of the month. So on day 34, on your pay day, you're finishing the book, you start again. So thank you, everybody. It's been an honor being here. For me, it's good night.
Thank you so much, Samantha. I'm happy to see you, Claudia Silveira. Thank you so much, guys. I think it's now officially closed. Now you can, Moses Zoro had something to say. Then after Moses says what he wants to say, unless if he was raising the hand by mistake, then I think we can officially close our meeting. Thank you, guys. You are so wonderful. Holding on up to 9 p.m. when the meeting officially ended around 8. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Was that an old hand that Moses had the other time?
It could have been. It could have been. I see Dr. Mateus Mtola is logging in now. Let me just say something to him. Dr. Mateus, está a entrar agora quando nós estamos já para fechar, começamos às 6h30, mas é bom para, se é possível, ver a sua cara e também ouvir algumas palavras de si. Mateus Mtola is one of the professors here. He writes a lot of books. This guy is always churning out books. And he's a great motivational speaker, he's a pastor, he's an apostle. I think it would be nice to just hear one word from him before he goes, although he's just logged in now. Dr. Mateus, quer dizer alguma coisa para nós? Antes de nós fecharmos.
Yes, muito obrigado pelo privilégio. I've just been driving on the way, I was going in and out. But I want to say, from the bottom of my heart, parabéns. Congratulations for this book. I loved what the pastor was saying. The pastor, I think she's a pastor lady was saying. She was saying something like, we think of Pharaoh as something from a negative point of view, perspective. We love to.
Looks like his network is betraying him. But it's good that we managed to hear from him. Yes, Rapson, I don't know if you want to close the meeting officially. I think it's the network that has betrayed him, but yeah.
In honor. Do you want you to stay in Simba just for 2 minutes?
Yes, definitely.
Did anyone else in the planning committee? Everybody else?
Hello, dear.
Have a fantastic night.
Hello, there's someone who's saying hello. Who is that one?
Yes, that is Janio.
Ah, Mr. Janio. Hey, we can't go without hearing from Mr. Janio, you guys. Hey, let's hear from Mr. Janio. Good to see you.
Ozias, quero aproveitar os 2 minutos enquanto esperamos.
À vontade, à vontade.
Sim, Ozias, vou falar muito pouco para ter muito pouco para traduzir. Eu agradeço em primeiro lugar pelo convite para o lançamento do livro. Agradeço, em segundo lugar, pela oportunidade de me chamar aqui para falar em português e representar aqui a comunidade que fala em português. E parabenizá-lo pela grande obra que é o livro que acaba de lançar e dizer que espero a minha versão portuguesa e sabe aonde. Obrigado pela oportunidade.
Thank you so much, Mr. Janio. He's basically saying thank you for inviting me to the launch and inviting me to speak in Portuguese, representing the Portuguese-speaking people. And I'm waiting for my Portuguese version, which will come, I think, by end of next week. You should have it. Vai ter versão em português. Thank you so much, Mr. Janio. He works for one of my clients here in Maputo. I really appreciate him. Thank you so much. Dr. Mateus, infelizmente, you were cut because I think it was network. So if you want to just quickly conclude in 1 minute, then we'll officially close the launch.
Yes, I was just quoting what I heard the pastor lady saying, that we are used to Pharaoh, look at Pharaoh from a negative point of view and perspective. But your book has just brought some light. And I was just thinking, sometimes we look at negative issues in our lives and we are stuck by that. But your book has been teaching me, in particular, what I heard today, that it taught me, teaching me to look for the positive in every negative. So all my life, I knew Pharaoh from a negative point of view, but the light your book has brought, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I pray that more books come out, and congratulations, sir. You got my respect just from that, from shifting my mind from seeing this guy, this leader from a negative point of view, but just brought a positive. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Dr. Mateus. I appreciate very much. Thank you so much. I'm going to learn a lot from you because we change books like you are just writing articles and there will be kids volume. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Great.
All right, family, it has been an honor. Simba Manyeruke, please stay behind. Ozias, please stay behind for just a few things. But everybody else, we are free to exit the meeting, and then we'll see you in other book launches and other meetings in times to come.